Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben and as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
The main topic today is marijuana. Cannabis.
Marijuana.
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane. Sweet, sweet Mary Jane.
Monkey, skunk.
Weed, trees, hash, ganja, the airplane, the dank, blaze bud, doobage, pot, wacky tobacco, sweet Lucy and the green goddess.
Oh. The green goddess.
So yeah, we'll be discussing that and the whole sort of thrust of it, I suppose. But first, we'll do some weird news. And if this is your first episode, then this will take about half an hour, 40 minutes, maybe. Depends if we need a piss, top the beer up, whatever. And then we'll get to the main thrust of today's chat.
Okay, before we start, can I just say I've got a surprise?
Oh, come on.
Sent in from a listener.
Okay, why didn't you get that before?
Because I wanted to get it now and surprise everybody.
I've got to move and you've got to disrupt my fucking rhythm.
We're painting an audio. Mike has just literally.
Mike has just left the room.
He's just left us.
Mike has left the building.
This is weird. We've never podcasted alone. But
Oh man.
what do we do? Don't say anything racist. Oh, man.
Wrestling's alright, isn't it?
Yeah. I love me a bit of wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Mike.
You really should leave the room.
What? It's in a box.
It's not a box.
It's a head in a box. It's a head in a box.
There's his head in a box.
I wouldn't know you popped into me when he said
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's it enough, Ben?
It's a trap.
It's a cake.
A cake.
It's a cake with the show logo on it.
First anniversary. Because
Oh
we're a year
yeah,
old.
man, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It is.
Who sent us
That's
that?
from Paz in Spain.
Oh, awesome.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Paz in Spain.
Thank you.
That's fucking
We
amazing.
have a cake.
We'll put a picture on the on the old Facebook.
Definitely. That
Hey,
is.
thank
you,
you,
Paz.
Paz.
That's awesome. Love the logo on it as well.
Yeah, it's a 1 year. Are we bang on the anniversary or is that? Do we know the exact date? Well,
Mike does.
Do
I
we know the exact date? Do we know anything? No, it's about a year.
It's roughly our 1 year anniversary, dear listener. And if you've been with us on this intrepid journey through the shithills of ignorance,
The rad wastes of bollocks.
that are the post-truth apocalypse and the world of conspiracy and joining the dots, then thank you. And here's to many more years.
Yes. Should we
Yeah,
raise a
cheers,
can?
lads.
Raise a drink?
Yes,
Cheers.
congratulations. Cheers, Paz.
Thank you, listeners.
And if any other listeners want to send us cool things, feel free.
Yeah. I like money.
Yeah. Me too. Right. What's in the news
As
this
you
week
know,
then?
money's going to be no good soon.
Oh yeah.
Any gold or tradable objects?
Tin food.
Chickens?
Send me some Asda vouchers. That'd be great.
And also, if you've got any sort of anything we can modify Gaz's work around with to make it a feasible fighting force in the post-truth apocalypse that is coming. Yeah.
Join my cult.
Maybe join his cult.
Buy a comic.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll plug that next week when I'm happy with the final result. There's a bit of a tease for you. So yeah, what's in the news.
We've got some local news this week.
Ooh.
From Telford itself.
Wow.
The police are called as an angry goat chases woman up tree in Telford. Women up trees. Sorry.
In Donington, that's where I live.
Yeah. Neither the woman or the animal were harmed. Police couldn't stop the goat eating one of the women's handbags. I'm just trying to imagine a slightly overweight, red-faced policeman chasing a goat around, trying to get the handbag back off that's in its
It's the
mouth.
scene from Hot Fuzz chasing the goat,
Yeah,
or whatever it is.
the goose.
Yeah.
There's a group of women up trees.
And he's debating whether to taser the goat or not, but then he's not sure if he'll kill it. Because they did kill Dana Atkinson with that taser, the Telford police, the famous footballer who's been
Yeah, if you're Telford police, you're probably a bit
fucking where are you about putting that taser
you're
down?
not so trigger happy on the old tasers these days. Especially not a goat. Although, speaking personally, I think I would have tased the goat. I think it's better than smashing it in the fucking face with something, isn't it? If it's me or the goat, if I felt endangered, Mike, is what I'm saying.
Well, you got to think,
Or to save
A,
the women.
it's a goat, how much damage can it do? And B, is the taser, the electricity that's coming through, is it set for human beings? So it's going to fry the goat?
Could fry the goat completely, yeah. You might have, on the plus side,
No.
goat curry that night.
Their flesh isn't that vastly different from ours, is it? Like, consistency.
They're a mammal, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
a shot
it'd be
to the
fine.
heart, I think, is the more serious thing.
I think the goat would be fine.
I don't know, but either way, goat curry.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So this happened
Yeah.
in Donington, which is a part of Telford that I reside in. Where the fuck are the angry goats?
I don't know,
I
but
need
that's-
to know this.
There is a photo of a goat.
That was a stock photo
I know,
of the goat.
yeah, it says a stock photo of a goat, not the angry Donington animal.
You mean all
That
this?
was much scarier.
Everyone's got a fucking camera phone, and there's a goat on the loose, and no one's taking a picture. Is
They're
it
too busy climbing a tree and fear for their lives.
You climb the tree, you take your phone out, and take a picture of the goat at the
I
bottom,
reckon
don't
their
you?
phones are in the handbags.
Oh, maybe.
And it was eating the hamburger,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Some visitors were to a nature reserve had to be rescued after they were chased up trees by an angry goat. Police were called to reports of a goat following two women in their late teens yesterday afternoon. West Mercia police said a large angry animal was pushing the girls and trying to knock them over at Granville County Country Park in Donington. The women climbed the trees to evade the goat, which chased them round the park. PCSO.
Yeah, of course they sent the police community support officers.
I used to work with that one. Merrick
Really?
Liston. He used to work. I used to work. Well,
Did you?
Yeah, he used to work at my place. He went off and joined the police. Well, as a community
That's
support officer.
the level of duties you are given. Are we going to smash some of them pedo rings that are operating in Telford? No. We'll leave that to the big boys. You, sir, you're going for the angry goat. Isn't that the RSPCA's territory? No.
No.
It's fucking yours.
Cut to a Benny Hill scene.
Off you fuck. Off you fuck. Don't worry, madam, I'll save you.
Thing is, what you do?
Are you going to tase it? They don't give us tasers.
No, they don't. They haven't even got. I don't even think they've
I've got a
baton.
notebook and pencil.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm doing a sketch review, goatee.
I'm writing all this down.
Yes, goatee McGoat face.
Yeah. They rescued the girls and got rid of the animal. No one was harmed.
Got rid of the animal.
I suppose they
In
just
quotes.
chased it off.
Oh, so they didn't execute it.
They
in
might have
Baghdad.
made it. I hope they didn't make it dig its own
They
grave.
took it back to the station and beat the shit out of it in a cell. It died of a brain hemorrhage.
After they gang raped it.
Well,
Are you suggesting our brave boys in blue are raping farmyard animals, Mike?
Well, they are pigs.
yes.
Oh!
Yes. Well, they are fucking, allegedly useless, aren't they?
Well, the PCSOs pretty much are.
Well, yeah, I actually know because I wrote a sitcom, an audio sitcom pilot with a friend about a chimp detective from America who's teamed up with a community support officer from Wolverhampton. So I researched their duties, and what I can remember from the top of my head, the only punitive measures they can actually do is they can ask congregations of young people consuming alcohol to move on.
Right.
If you're riding a bicycle on the pavement, they can give you a ticket.
Okay.
And that is about it. Their
They can-
job is to
yeah.
observe, report, and they're basically supposed to be a visual deterrent.
Because they look like police officers,
Yes.
don't they?
I want to
Pretty
hear more
much
about
useless.
the chimp detective.
Oh well,
Yeah.
somewhat
That piqued my
secretly,
interest.
somewhat secretly and sneakily, if you go to our Podbean, www.apocalypsebull.podbean.com, that's our site. If you scroll right down to the bottom, the first four things are what I put on the feed years ago when it was called something else, and the fourth one is the audio sitcom with the chimp. It's
Ah.
called Detective Chimpy Fingers. Check it out, people, if you like. Anyway,
Also, we should point out to follow us on Facebook.
Yes,
at Cutting
please.
to the Bull in the Post of the Apocalypse, and on Twitter at Apocalypse Bull.
yes, there you
And
go.
leave a review. We're on iTunes and wherever else you get your podcasts from.
Thanks.
Yep, we're on YouTube as well.
YouTube, of course, yeah.
That sounded half professional, lads. Well done.
Yeah. Well, we're learning.
Well, we've been doing it a year, haven't we?
Oh, practically,
veterans now.
practically professionals now.
Yeah, that's it, man. So, I guess the conclusion is, if you're a daft twat, don't go walking through a field where there's a goat.
We don't know they didn't provoke that goat.
Yeah, and don't be so wet that you have to, so the goat's knocking you over and you're calling the police. Run, kick it, punch it, make yourself big.
Yeah.
Surely. And it said, in their late teens, come on, girls.
At least they managed to climb the trees.
Why don't you stick your makeup brush in its eye or something and fucking get savage with it? waste those precious community support officers who could be giving people tickets for riding their bikes on the pavement.
Or watching a crime happen and observing it.
And observing it and asking a group to move on, only to be told to fuck off, you fucking cunt. Fuck, you can't arrest me.
You ain't even a fucking proper police
officer. How much do they get paid to get... Because is any amount of money worth being told that all day, every day?
It's about 22,000 a year.
Really?
I looked at it.
Maybe we should become them.
I did look at it. Because I thought to myself, well, it's more money. But then I thought to myself,
to be honest,
take all that shit every day.
Yeah, the only thing
awkward shifts, 12-hour shifts, 4 on, 4 off.
The only thing I ever see them doing is walking.
Yeah, and I like walking. That's fine.
They basically just walk in it's a bit like dressing up in a policeman's uniform. It's a bit better quality than your average
fancy dress one,
yeah, fancy dress, but it's still not a proper one. I mean, you haven't got a stab vest.
I think they have got stab vests.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Oh, that would probably be sensible in some areas.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's a bit like, you can't arrest anyone. You can't...
You can do a citizen's arrest, I suppose.
Pretending, aren't
They've got pepper spray, anything like that?
I think they might have mace as a sort of weapon.
Self-defense,
I don't
possibly.
think they've got a truncheon.
No. They haven't got cuffs because they can't legally arrest anyone.
They might have cuffs for a citizen's arrest.
Oh. They're supposed to help at crime scenes and stuff like that.
But tidy up after things like that.
Get the fucking coffee.
Just nip down to Starbucks, PCSO.
Do you think one day I could join the real ranks and be a real police officer, be a big detective? Yeah, one day, mate. McDonald's, 4 Big Macs, off you fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it here.
And by the way, you're paying.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Isn't there a Mitchell and Webb sketch about that where you got this PCSO walking down the street with a proper police officer? He's like, you can't even commit police brutality. And he just gets a sticker, starts beating him. That's police brutality, not community support officer brutality. That's real brutality.
But don't you think you could be a sort of bent, crooked one that actually like
taking
drugs off people?
Yeah.
Because you just beat the shit. If you're actually a big, hard man, who became one, you could have a lot of fun with it, I suppose. You don't need to arrest people to just beat the shit out of someone, take their drugs. If I see you around here again, you little cunt,
I'll break your legs.
Break your fucking
and no
legs.
one's gonna believe you over me.
Yeah,
You're a scumbag.
Oh, fuck off.
Own the fucking neighbourhood, man.
Yeah.
Take that fucking knife
basically,
off,
you be in the police, but yet also organised crime. It's a perfect double life.
It's always been my dream. I've always wanted to be a bent copper. It's just, only if it is like it is in the movies. And I know it's all going to end in a shootout one day when it escalates and goes too far.
So many of your sort of things are going to end up in shootouts.
You turn me into shootouts.
Your cult's going to end up in a shootout to a massive assault. You as a bent copper's going to end up in a shootout. No. You've got to think about shootouts.
That's what happens when you're a bent cop. You escalate and escalate and escalate. But I'd like to be the one
killing your best mate because he's going to knock.
He can't deal with it. His conscience is getting too much for him now.
You have to get rid of the body. And you're raping a mate, and they're now fucking, oh yeah, man, yeah. But I've always wanted to be, the one that straddles the line between being an actual gangster, whilst also being a police officer, like a high-ranking detective, plain clothes, get to carry a gun.
Yeah, in the flying squad.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Oh yeah. Bit of cocaine for breakfast.
Then you took off some bloke the other night.
Yeah.
Over your cornflakes.
Yeah. You pull a bit of glass out your knuckles from that bar fight you got into.
Pour yourself half a glass full of whiskey.
Yeah. And then drive your fucking Lamborghini to the fucking station. And how did it fall down?
Drop the prostitute.
Fucking headbutt the bloke who asked you.
Drop the prostitute off home.
Yeah. Prostitute.
High class escort. Remember. You only afford the best.
Yeah, that's the life.
And of course, the beauty of it is you're the one investigating yourself.
Yeah.
So you just keep anyone that gets in your way. You just frame them for what you're doing.
Exactly. So I'm saying you could do it as a CSO officer, just on a smaller level.
Yeah.
Stealing ice creams.
Beating up teenagers.
Yeah. The odd bike, you'll come across a decent bike that you knocked a teenager off. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, local news. There we have it.
Yeah, watch out for them goats. I better be careful on the way home.
Goat Busters.
That's a DVD that I watched once and I'll never watch it.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Oh yeah. UK's 32-degree heat wave brings invasion of ghosts with major spike in paranormal calls. Or everybody's tripping out from the heat.
Yeah.
It's Ghost Ben.
Yeah, oh, sorry, Mike.
It's in the news.
Now, call me cynical. Well, the less we say about the news these days, the better. Now, call me cynical, but can we really blame the UK's heatwave on an increased amount of ghost sightings? Pardon me a second, I thought I was going to burp then. Didn't want to do it down the mic, I get a stick for that. Apparently it's unprofessional.
Yes.
Well, paranormal experts seem to be doing just that, as one ghost hunter reported a major spike, in quotes, in calls over the past couple of months and amidst the ongoing summer scorcher. Must have been a mighty warm cemetery. Gary Parsons, 53, I think I've heard that name. I think he's been on the Unexplained podcast with Howard Hughes. A professional paranormal investigator said the ghost apparitions have been summoned by the scorching sun.
Have they now?
Yeah. Some people have even been afraid to go into their own homes. Gary, who runs Plymouth Paranormal Investigators, PPI, from his Devon home, believes the increase is due to the unseasonably warm weather the UK has been enjoying, or more people are lying out in the sun for longer, consuming vast amounts of beer and possibly marijuana.
Probably marijuana.
Yeah. Getting mild heat stroke while high or drunk, going home and hallucinating.
I don't understand the correlation between the warm weather and the increasing ghosts.
I mean, summoned by the sun, Mike.
And to be honest, Plymouth Paranormal Investigators, PPI, hasn't quite got the same ring to it as Ghostbusters.
Demon Busters.
Plymouth Paranormal Investigators.
Or our side venture, Demon Busters.
Well, that is a much better name because we came up with it.
Do you think they get a lot of calls for people trying to claim back their PPI?
I reckon they do, yeah.
I was trying to remember what that stood for. Payment Protection
Insurance. Yeah.
No, for fuck's sake, I am not a payment protection insurance company. It clearly says Plymouth Paranormal Investigators. What do you mean, what do I do? I catch fucking ghosts! No, I've never actually caught a fucking ghost. I'm an investigator. I investigate them. Good day to you, sir.
I said good day.
He must get calls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He said, Gary, says that, he's called Gary as well. It's just such an unassuming name, isn't it? Gary. It's like a Darren. Gary and Darren, the blokes down the pub with the tight-fitting football shirts and shit tattoos.
His name should be Egon.
Yeah!
Or Raymond. Or Winston.
But anyway, Gary says that he's received a major spike in the number of calls during June and July with people reporting scary supernatural phenomena. One couple was almost afraid to go into their own home because of poltergeists and residual energies making things move.
They waited outside for a few hours.
Well, they didn't realise they lived next to the train. Every sort of half an hour, one was going past and shaking stuff on the shelf.
No, they're like, I really want to go to bed now. They're almost afraid.
The drugs have worn off. I feel a lot better going in.
I think there are two types of people in this world. There are people who are lying in bed at night and they hear something like a bang downstairs, and they go downstairs and they look around and they see, oh, that spatula fell off the rack. Oh well.
Yeah.
And off they go back to bed.
Put it back, off to bed.
Physics, gravity, stuff falls over.
Yeah.
Then there's type 2. Fucking poltergeist! Clearly!
Of course, if you come downstairs and all your furniture is stacked neatly into a triangle, that's probably a poltergeist.
That's one of your kids fucking around with you. But come on, you know what I mean? There's two types
I don't know,
of
but I
people.
might fucking do that.
I do not believe in poltergeist. What state of mind do you have to be in to be? There's a ghost throwing things around in the house.
Bob Bryant seems to think so. He says we use a number of items to communicate with energies, and especially our Huff Wonderbox.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It is designed to search out unexplained orb lights, eerie voices and deadly spirits. On a recent house investigation, my body was taken over by a dead priest and refused to leave until it was ordered to leave by my colleague Amanda. What a bloody stubborn ghost.
Well, what authority she got over the dead priest? I would love to go along with these kind of people, just to see what the fuck's going on. Even with my very limited scientific knowledge, they just go, oh yeah, they've got all that stuff they've got, all that equipment. It's not designed to hunt ghosts, it's designed for other stuff.
I imagine they're the type of people, when you press them with science, they get very uppity.
Very defensive.
You just haven't got an open mind. Yeah. You're too small-minded.
You're not attuned to the energies.
Yes, no. You're too close-minded. You have to have faith.
But
it's like a religion, is it?
But there's another guy on that Unexplained podcast. and he's a ghost hunter, and he's a really rational guy. He's a fucking paramedic in his day-to-day life, you know. So you'd think that he's a fairly sensible person, and he does come at it. He doesn't say it's ghosts. He says it could be a lot of things. But this is what I found, which is fair enough. I can get with that, but
The trouble I have with it is it breaks the laws of thermodynamics.
it does.
Science officer Mike. What's thermodynamics?
It's about conservation of energy.
What's thermodynamics?
Energy can only move from one form into the other. It can't be created. It can't be destroyed. Is
What are you
it?
looking at me for?
I'm actually aware of this now. I'll take my dunce hat off.
All the
Energy
energy-
doesn't. It goes somewhere always. It doesn't disappear. It transfers into something else.
yeah.
You see? Yes, I'm aware of science.
Yeah.
Good for
so
you,
where's
man.
the energy coming to power the ghosts? What do they live on? Ghost food?
Magical.
The energy of the
To
universe,
sustain
like
themselves?
The energy of the nether regions and the nether world
Yeah.
where they come from.
our own fear. That's what they
Ooh.
sustain themselves on.
Ooh.
Unless they're bleeding in from another dimension.
They're an emotional vampire.
Maybe.
Maybe they are bleeding with a dimension. Maybe they're echoes of another
Yeah.
dimension.
Maybe.
Echoes from another dimension. Echoes from another dimension. Yeah.
Hang on, there's a little bit more to this article.
Oh fuck.
That's it.
Yeah, just scroll down.
Turns out they're all mentally unwell.
It says, what about Portugal and Spain? They're also experiencing a heat wave, but no one says they're going through a ghostly apocalypse too. So, yeah.
Cockwash.
Cockwash.
Utter cockwash.
People have got fucking heat stroke and then all of a sudden
Attention seeking.
they're like, oh my god, I'm mild, I've got heat stroke, I've been on the piss all day and I'm hallucinating. There you go. I've summed it up. I've solved it.
Well done.
Cheers. Do you remember the firefighter prophet? He's been mentioned a few times.
How could I forget?
He's the chap that had a chat with the God during seeing Trump on TV and saying he's going to be the next president. God told him that.
Just had a little natter.
Yeah, just as you do. He says that the US military is gearing for an underground war with paedophiles.
Hang on. Is this underground in the sense that it will be secretive, or underground as in a literal under the ground?
Literally
war?
underground.
In underground terms.
Yeah.
Okay, but I thought when you said underground war, I thought the same as you.
How many
I thought
paedophiles are there?
Yeah.
Enough to form an army, a militia.
Enough to build out an intricate series of tunnels and bunkers, apparently.
It's going to suck for the people on the surface, isn't it? You're just minding your business in your house, and then just an explosion under the ground.
That's it, you're
causes
lying
a
there in
ripple
bed.
effect. Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, you've got no idea what's under your head. Next thing you know, there's grenades going off here, but rattles of gunfire, the screams of the dying, reptilian shrieks of battle cries.
Then I start to believe in
And then you're like,
poltergeists.
the fuck's going on out there? The fuck? And then it all goes quiet.
Yeah.
The fuck was that? I've got poltergeist, there we go.
Playing the poltergeist.
Did you see a dance in your bedroom?
And then the next thing you know, there's a fucking one of them sort of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles drill tanks that comes out the ground, and a couple of fucking lizards hop out of it,
Exactly.
hop across your back fence, being pursued by US Army commandos and
now-
run them down in your neighbour's back garden.
And we'll never know why this is happening because we can't listen to Alex Jones anymore.
No. And then the Men in Black show up, fucking flash fry your memory of the events, and before you know it, you just sat there, nothing happened. There you go.
Bastards. And if they haven't got that flash memory deletion technology, they'll just do it the old-fashioned way and club you over the head violently.
Yeah, just give you a severe beat and it's not to say anything. For the good of the country.
It's hurting me more than it's hurting you. I don't think it is. So yeah, what's he fucking saying, this
Well,
firefighter prophet?
Mark Taylor, the so-called firefighter prophet and radical conspiracy theorist about whom Liberty University is making a movie, recently appeared on The Sharpening Report, where he asserted the US military is training soldiers to fight underground because that is where satanic paedophiles build secret bunkers in which they abuse, sacrifice and eat children.
That's where all
Pizza
the
shop,
kids
innit?
go.
Yeah.
Pizza shop.
There you go, there's probably a bunker under that, isn't
Yeah,
there?
that's the gateway.
Yeah.
Like in Captain America, how they go in the diner and then, you know, it looks like a diner, but you go underneath.
yeah.
That's in the original, like 1990 Captain America.
Ooh.
Ever seen that one?
No, but apparently it's terrible.
It's god awful, but I love it. It has a special place in my heart. So I saw it as a child. It was one of the few. There was that and Batman as a kid.
It's true, yeah.
So I loved it. Anyway, it's awful.
You know what I've been watching this week?
What's that?
Mainly Tom Cruise alien invasion movies.
I took your advice.
Oh yeah, go on.
I watched Edge of Tomorrow. I fucking love it.
Yeah,
it's an absolutely amazing movie.
There's going to be a sequel too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, apparently they are doing a number 2, yeah.
I like it. It was excellent.
Yeah, it was good.
The thing is, the sad thing about that movie was it was a fucking great movie, awesome movie, but it got really heavily pirated.
Right.
And it never took a lot at the box office. But the DVD sales, when it came out, went through the fucking roof because people had watched it online.
Yeah.
Thought, you know what, I'm going to fucking buy that.
It's good. My Tom Cruise loving continues.
And I watched Oblivion.
Yeah, we watched that the other
Which
night.
is quite a good film. I enjoyed the twist. You seen that, Mike?
I have, yeah, it's not bad.
Spoilers. It's an old film. If you haven't seen it, spoilers. The fact that he thought,
Morgan Freeman's in it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like,
Freeman's the human.
yeah, but they were like, oh shit. He's like, it's not the humans up there. It's the aliens. They actually won, and they've been shooting the fucking humans running around, haven't they?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was a good one. Yeah.
That was a good twist. But then, are you an efficient team? That was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's not the way a human
Are you
speaks.
still an efficient team? Yeah, my Tom Cruise love-a-thon still continues. I'm now able, as I feel I've attained a new level of maturity in my life, able to separate the man from the movie star.
Yeah,
He's a good movie star.
just good
I
stuff.
just don't need to listen to him talk about Scientology or philosophy or anything like that. You know.
Well, I wouldn't go to Tom Cruise for philosophy.
Well, he
Well,
talks
that's
about it. There's videos of him
does he?
philosophising on why pharmaceutical drugs are no good and this, that and the other. And oh yes,
Well, he might have a point on that.
Tom's got some beliefs.
He's got
Bless him.
several beliefs.
But I don't need to know about that as long as
No.
he's willing to clip himself to the side of a helicopter while they film it,
Yeah,
and I can go and watch that in IMAX. I go, that man is really attached to a real helicopter.
yeah.
It's not CGI, and your brain does know the fucking difference.
Absolutely.
Deep down, the uncanny valley, is it? So yeah, I'm all for the fucking cruise master, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh hell, Tom.
You got to look at him as one of the better movie stars of our generation, haven't you?
He's got to be one of the top movie stars of all time, to be perfectly
I
honest.
don't know about that.
He's,
That's pushing it.
dude, he has been.
He's not the world's best actor,
Think
but he's
about
been
it.
in some very iconic films,
Yeah.
hasn't he?
Mike, I think I can argue my point easily. He has been in top blockbuster grossing movies every decade since the early 80s, and we're nearly at 2020 now.
Yeah, I mean he's 50 something. He's still doing his own
50-something.
stunts.
He's got good longevity.
You never see how in shape he is. I mean, like he does all his own stunts, so you assume he's got to be in a reasonably good shape.
I think
Doesn't
he's
age
probably
much, does
in
he?
great
He doesn't
shape.
seem to age much.
No, that's all the
But-
alien spunk.
He's ridded himself of thetans. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't
They
age.
call it thetans, it's aliens.
It's attending the 1% child sacrifice orgy, feasting on the adrenal glands, $1 billion drug industry.
Like what this
Allegedly.
Guy, like what this guy's fighting.
Like what this guy's on about. So he says.
Yeah, Tom will fight them.
Yeah. So the underground child sacrifices, the sex trafficking rings. Where's all that stuff taking place? Taylor asked. Underground in the tunnels. He claims that Jeffrey Epstein, a wealthy investment banker and political donor who pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution from minors a decade ago, had spent millions of dollars filling in tunnels on his private island so that he and others had used to engage in paedophilia and cannibalism in order to be closer to Satan. So they were having a dining room where they had cannibalism going on. It's all going on
Well,
underground.
that makes sense. You're not going to eat it in the bathroom, are you?
I was expecting to sort of eat them off an altar, just sort of get your head in there and just start eating. That's what I was thinking.
From a trough.
You know,
Well,
not sort of served up in various kinds of. Oh, here's a bit of thigh. Would you like the thigh? Would you like the rump today? No, you fuck that.
we have to trust this man, as he is not only a prophet,
A
he's also
firefighter. Well, he was a firefighter.
You know, but we have to. Thank you for your service.
I don't think you have to say that to firefighters.
Oh right, okay, sorry. I get confused. I thought it was anyone in a uniform.
No, just
Thank you
just
for
just the
your
troops,
service.
Gaz. Just the troops.
Okay, thanks for that.
I'm kind of with him up to the paedophilia, cannibalism. I don't know about that. That's a bit dodgy.
We need to clip that.
No,
I'm kind of with him up to the people.
I believe, I believe that there's definitely paedophilia in the establishment.
The
Well,
1%.
that's fact. That's not tinfoil hat. It's
No,
factual
fact, people have been
reporting.
charged.
Yeah.
Found
I'm
guilty.
still just gonna, for our legal reasons, allegedly. Okay, yeah,
Allegedly, look it the fuck up.
yeah.
But do I believe that the military about to take on a bunch of underground pedos in a kind of war.
Well, Trump's
underground.
apparently hunting these guys out.
Oh, right.
There was another...
What, like himself?
He
He
has declared war on them,
Yeah,
apparently.
but he's out there like an action hero.
No, he's
chasing
not.
them down
He might be
alleyways.
there in his general's uniform, stood on top of a tank, sending people down the tunnel, but he won't be going in the tunnel. He's got bone spurs, Gaz.
Oh, is that why I didn't see
He's
it?
wearing his Napoleon uniform, or his Hitler uniform, whichever. And
He's a pedo himself. He even admitted that when he hosts them young teen pageants, he goes behind and sees all the
Allegedly.
girls naked.
I wouldn't be too keen on Donald Trump coming in and seeing my daughter naked.
Well, no.
You know.
I wouldn't like any man to see my daughter naked if she was underage. To be honest, if I had a daughter.
Well, I haven't heard that story, but if it's true, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but we should say
Yeah,
it,
he's-
isn't it?
He did say he'd fuck his daughter, she wasn't
He
his daughter.
did say fuck his daughter.
That's weird.
No, honestly, on a recording, he is heard saying this. He's actually, I think it was on a radio show with Howard Stern, maybe. And he's actually bragging about seeing the girls unclothed behind the curtain.
Yeah, but he's at the WWE Hall of Fame celebrity wing, so he's alright.
I see it's just starred on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, did
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know. Sorry if we talked about this in a previous episode, and I'm repeating myself. But the guy who hacked up the his sign on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
No, we hadn't spoken about this.
Well, he's the epitome to me of everything that's wrong with the fucking extreme left and the fuck Trump. You tit. I'm talking about the man who smashed up the Star. He was arrested, charged with criminal felony. He's a felon now.
You don't know what he's had though, do you? I mean, Trump's legislation might cost him his health care, might
Yeah,
cost
but
him his
what's
job.
he-
I mean, you don't
what
know, do you?
has he achieved?
Yeah, but why?
Well, it's a minor petty act of vandalism
No,
and
it's
revenge.
not. No, it's a felony offence.
Oh, it's
so, and we're
pathetic,
talking
isn't it?
about America.
Pathetic.
Yeah, but this is America, so you know he could be locked away for it for a fucking significant amount of time.
Oh, they'll do some treason charge on him, probably. Yeah.
Imagine.
Well, that's
So,
ridiculous, isn't it? It's
well,
like,
what's
it's
he
like me
achieved?
taking a hammer to the pavement
Mm.
and going away for fucking 10 years.
Yeah, but the point is, what's he? Yeah, I get it. Oh, well done. You smashed the fucking Star in the Hall of Fame. You're a rock and roll star. No, you're a felon now. You're a fool.
Yeah.
You've achieved precisely nothing. Well, no, you've achieved something. You've achieved.
You got his 15 minutes of
criminality.
fame.
You know, yeah, and now you just the rest of your life's probably fucked.
Mm.
So well done, mate. So what I'm saying is, pick your hills to die on. Do your protests if you want. I sound very patronising now, but don't things like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna smash up. I can see how that seemed a good idea in the heat of the moment. And it was premeditated. He took the pickaxe with him concealed in a guitar case. I think it was.
Yeah.
So he thought
Yeah,
about
because
it.
the guy
Now his
might
life's
be
fucked.
mentally ill.
No.
Off his meds or
It
something.
doesn't change the
Because he
fact
can't
that
get his
just-
meds anymore.
Because he can't afford them.
Ah, don't make excuses for the fool. He's a fool. Surely you can see he's a fool. Well,
Oh,
you
I
don't
don't
tell me
agree
you
with
think
it.
he's
I don't-
fucking awesome.
No, I don't
No,
agree with
no.
that.
No, I don't agree with it. It's
I don't agree with the
pointless.
act.
It's a pointless act,
with
I
that,
agree.
but I'm just saying, I'm not easy to condemn the man until you
Oh, I
you
am.
don't know the full.
I think he was wearing a cowboy hat. So
Oh, in that case then, yeah. Well, I think he should be supporting Trump if he's got a cowboy hat on.
fucking. Yeah, I'm just saying. I just think it's
Yeah.
very silly. You know.
Oh well, can we go back to the firefighter?
Oh, I thought we were done with him. What else? Is
No,
he
he's saying that they're.
got more.
He read an article where the military's literally training to start fighting underground because so much of what is going on is underground now globally.
Oh my word.
Well, I'll take.
So that's
the word
it,
for
yeah,
Mr.
that's-
Fireman.
He's
That's weird news then.
that's weird news. Should we call a swift break?
Yep.
Splendid.
Science. Good
Oh,
stuff.
sorry, I pressed record then.
We're back.
Science.
We're back.
And we're very professional.
Ooh, science. So, cannabis, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, is a psychoreactive drug from the cannabis plant used for medical or recreational purposes. The psychoreactive part of the plant is tetrahydrocannabinol, THC.
I think I've mentioned this before. I use it for medicinal purposes.
No, Mike, you just got stoned. You had a bad back and you got stoned.
Glaucoma with a third eye.
I thought you were being serious then. You're trying to honestly justify your cannabis.
That's what I said. You had a bad back and you got stoned. That was the extent of it. And then you felt better.
I use mine 'cause it makes playing the PlayStation better and stuff like that and dealing with the kids easier.
Yeah, it makes films more interesting.
Yeah.
Blocks out the hellish reality.
Puts me in a nice little safe, happy bubble.
It just puts a little bit of sort of cotton wool around you, doesn't it? Around your soul, just to sort of protect you from, like you say, Mike, the never-ending, relentless, nightmarish misery of
living in Britain.
Of Brexit Britain, broken Britain.
In like next year, you know, it's gonna be like day 51. We only have enough electricity to record for 1 minute. Please ensure
that's
listeners.
just a minute of us going.
You fucking leaving, vote.
Damn yous all Oh, you Brexit leaving bastards. We're going to have to sort of sit down and work out the most efficient way to kill an old lady in one strike whilst expending the least amount of energy, because we got to fight a lot of them in supermarkets.
Yeah, and they've got, you know, Zimmer frames and all sorts, walking sticks, probably walking sticks with swords in by this point.
You know, like sometimes in like Judge
Bags eating the skin.
That'd be horrible. It'd be like leather. It'd be all stretchy. Imagine eating a chicken leg that went doing. That's what it'd be like eating an old lady's fucking.
Well, let him have the skin then.
Thank you.
I was just thinking, when we take down the old ladies, you know, like in Judge Dredd, sometimes he'd punch someone so hard in the face that like you'd see like their jaw coming off their face, like smashing a fist through the lower part of their skull. That's kind of what it might be like if you smack an 8-year-old as hard as you can. Not that I've thought about it in depth or anything, but I am preparing, as you boys advised me to. So I don't know what I'm preparing for.
We just said stockpile food, not learn how to kill people. Although it will be a viable skill, probably.
I've been practicing with the crossbow and everything.
Welcome aboard the team, guys.
Yay! You've turned me into a prepper. Sorry, marijuana.
Yeah, it can be used by smoking, vaporizing, eating, or as an extract. The THC. And the earliest recorded use of cannabis. Anyone take a guess?
1600s.
No, I'm gonna go way back. I'm gonna go back to the Stone Age.
It's like the 3rd millennium BC.
How was it recorded?
I assume someone wrote a message saying "blazing weed, dude" on the wall in a cave, possibly. I don't know.
Somebody carved "don't drink and drive, smoke and fly."
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know, far be it from me to question history, but when you say Stone Age stoned people recorded it, how? In their leavings, did we DNA?
I don't know, just that's earliest recorded use. I mean, someone must have wrote something down, or the knowledge of it was...
What year was it?
The 3rd millennium.
Well, they do
BC.
believe, you know the story of the burning bush, and
Well, that's it. I mean, you know,
they think it's
maybe the burning bush was actually a weed tree.
well, either weed or an acacia tree that gave off DMT and then caused... Basically, the Bible was written from marijuana or DMT.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd be fantastic.
They do think there's a percentage.
The Stone Age theory.
Oh no, the stoned ape's a different theory. This is a theory that like a lot of the Bible came from trips, and it was written by very high people.
Explain a lot, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Ezekiel was definitely on something, because he was having flaming fucking chariots coming at him.
Can you imagine just some
John
old
and
ancient
the
dude
Book of Revelations.
with the doobie in his mouth tapping away? Oh, then
Wow.
a fucking dragon comes in. Whoa.
We'll learn a little bit later that the human body has receptors for these cannabinoids.
That's why this shit works, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like it was set up that
That's
way.
it.
So
Or
almost-
that we've grown and evolved alongside this plant, and it has grown and evolved alongside us.
It's always been off.
It's almost as if it's the holy trinity of man, plant, and fire. You know what I mean? Those 3 things combined, that's the holy... I was just thinking that as I watched myself slowly caress the end of this joint with flame. And... Sorry,
It's almost poetic and mesmerising. I'm sat over here just sort of going,
It's
fire.
a wonderful, wonderful gift from nature, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Certainly is.
Sorry to put my eggs in one basket before we get to the end.
But, so, in America, it was banned in the 1930s. Why? Mainly because of a guy called Henry Anslinger in 1929, who was put in charge of the Department of Prohibition. But when Prohibition ended, he was afraid for his future. He's head of this huge government department, and he's got nothing to do. So you need a bogeyman, don't you? So let's play this video.
Which we should say is from
And
Stuff They
you
Don't
need to
Want
know.
You to Know, which
It's-
is an excellent, excellent podcast. They don't need any help from us because they're huge, but this is a nice little 5-minute video.
So this will explain a little bit of background.
Important is what you think. So without any preaching from this film, let's examine the facts and only the facts. There are too many false impressions and prejudices to do it any other way.
It's an impressive moustache.
You can turn back now, or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. Cannabis sativa, more commonly called marijuana, is the most widely abused illegal drug in the United States. It's been effectively criminalized since the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, and before that, individual states passed laws banning the plant. The Drug Enforcement Administration considers marijuana a Schedule I controlled substance, meaning that like heroin and ecstasy, it has a high potential for abuse, no currently accepted medical use, and a lack of accepted safety for use. Yet it occupies a unique niche in American culture. According to a 2011 Gallup poll, 50% of Americans believe marijuana should be legal, and a 2009 survey found that 16.7 million Americans used marijuana recently. Some state laws even conflict with federal laws on the subject. As the debate over marijuana policies continues, some advocates believe there's a more important question. How exactly did marijuana become illegal, and why? Here's where it gets crazy. There are several conspiracy theories about marijuana, but the most famous concerns newspaper tycoon William Randolph Hearst. Hearst owned lots of trees to supply paper, and his investment was threatened by hemp crops. Hemp plants could allegedly replace conventional paper and synthetic materials like nylon. According to the story, this last detail drew in the DuPont empire. Once Hearst and DuPont partnered with Harry J. Anslinger, the commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, they worked to turn the public against marijuana. What's the evidence? Those who believe this theory often point to the overt racism of anti-marijuana crusaders. It's true that Anslinger tied marijuana to racist fears, calling it a devil weed from Mexico, implying that it made minorities violent and encouraged miscegenation. Hearst papers printed lurid stories of white youths who tried marijuana and ruined their lives. But this theory isn't perfect. First, the Hearst papers epitomized yellow journalism. Panic sells papers, and Hearst made millions exploiting the public's fears. Second, there just wasn't that much hemp growing in the U.S. at the time. Only about 2 square miles under cultivation. Counting importation, annual U.S. consumption was only about 2,000 tons. It's true that a new hemp processing invention may have helped the industry grow before Anslinger's crusade, but no one knows for sure. As for the DuPont claim, nylon was originally used for women's stockings, which hemp would not have been used for. Anslinger's racism and fanaticism seem to be the deciding factor. What if marijuana criminalization was an attempt to exert more authority over minorities and immigrants? This isn't the only theory. Journalists like Gary Webb believe government agencies may keep drugs illegal for profit or foreign influence. Another, more esoteric theory argues that marijuana and other psychoactive substances can reveal a greater spiritual truth. In this theory, world governments don't want the common people to learn about this great reality, whatever it might be. Where does this leave us? Marijuana remains an illegal substance and the focus of an ongoing debate. There's no denying that Harry Anslinger considered marijuana a personal crusade, but moves to regulate this plant began as early as 1860. Opponents of legalization see arguments for hemp as thinly veiled attempts to legalize drug abuse. For advocates of medical marijuana or decriminalization, marijuana laws are just another kind of outdated prohibition. Today, the federal government believes that marijuana is harmful and must remain illegal as a matter of public safety. To many others, not just conspiracy theorists, there's a different explanation. That the government is hiding something they don't want you to know.
Well now,
Right.
you've heard from both sides of the question.
So we should just say, first of all credit to howstuffworks.com and Stuff They Don't Want You to Know. That's their video. And
Yep.
It's good.
Nice
Thank you.
little summary of the whole sort of story, really.
Yes.
Yep.
They've done our job for us.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the show.
Let's talk about that.
No, so Henry Anslinger,
Mm-hmm.
head of the Department of Prohibition. At one point, when the booze was being locked up, of course, he was said that cannabis wasn't a problem, doesn't harm people, and it's an absurd fallacy that it makes you violent, end quote.
Well, everybody knows it doesn't make you violent, it makes you the opposite.
But, suddenly, when his department needed something to do, he changed his mind.
Yeah.
And then he said, quote, "First you fall into a delirious rage, then gripped by dreams of an erotic character,
Ooh.
and finally the end point, insanity," end quote.
To be honest, I think I've had all three of those things. Definitely got horny on some weeds. I'm definitely, well, not insane, but I don't think I'm
We're more sane than the fucking outside world, guys.
Were you insane in the membrane?
I don't think I'm the base level for sanity. I'll just say that. I think I'm hovering somewhere below.
We were all a little crazy.
Yes. I'm less crazy these days.
Well, you're a respectable semi-married man now.
That's the thing, yeah. I was going to ask you when I do the collected volume of my comic book to write a little introduction for me, but essentially just say how when we started the show together, I was a drug-addled lunatic. Now I'm a respectable family man, but this comic book and its contents prove that deep down I'm still just a filthy, grotesque, perverted little man.
Can I write it like you wrote your little
Yes.
dedication to me? Thanks for shitting on my dreams. It's what I do.
You'd like
It
that.
motivates you. Look at you. You were a drug-addled lunatic. I shit on your dreams. You went out and achieved them anyway.
Yay! See, thank you.
I'm like a life coach, by the way.
You've made me a better person.
You owe me about 800 quid.
Through verbally bashing me every Sunday evening.
Yeah.
You've made me a better person.
You owe me 800 quid.
What?
Yeah, well, I'm your life coach now.
Can I owe you? Can
Nope.
I pay an installment?
No, you can pay in instalments. That's fine.
Are you gonna have to chase that payment through the court system? I think, Ben, because my money's all tied up in weed and video games, cults.
Well, I'll take it in weed.
Children
I'll take it in
pay
weed
for
and video games as well. In all fairness, I don't mind. You can lend me your PlayStation for a week, a couple of weeks a month.
Okay. I'd rather lend you a girlfriend. Jokes if she's listening.
Yeah, all right. We'll go with that.
How dare you? No,
That's a compliment.
Thank you. Back to the weed.
Henry became obsessed with one case in particular, a Florida boy named Victor Licata who hacked his family to death with an axe. And Henry Anslinger then explained to America, this is what happens when you smoke the demon weed. Your kids end up hacking his death with an axe. As it turns out, later on, it was found out that Victor Licata had never tried marijuana. He just had very deep mental issues.
There we go.
Nothing to do with that. Anslinger...
If he'd taken the marijuana, he may not have done that.
It's not
That's
sexist.
the irony of
Oh,
it.
yeah, if he'd had a smoke, he might have just sat down and thought, I don't want to stab anyone.
No, I don't want to hack anyone to death with an axe today.
I'd rather just sit here and look
Look
at
at the
that guy looks like Elvis!
Well, Elvis wasn't about then. This is
Oh,
the,
right, sorry.
the 30s. Look at that bloke with the banjo.
Is that stone? I mean, premonition.
He invented
One
rock
day a
and roll.
man, one day a man and a guitar and a beautifully coifed quiff will start playing songs that will inspire a generation.
He will
Shut up,
shake
Eric. Shut up.
Shake his hips so vigorously it will change the entire fabric of society. You smoking that shit again, boy?
Another dimension that happened.
Yeah.
In this one, it didn't. He hacked his
hacked
family
it.
to death.
Yeah,
Oh, if only we could have been there to warn them.
that's it. Mr. Anslinger then went on to write to the 30 leading scientists on the subject, asking if cannabis was dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And remarkably, 29 of them said no,
Right.
and one said yes, and Anslinger went with him.
Well, you know, it's got to paint the picture you want to paint, you know. Sorry, I'm just playing devil because.
And of course, he was mates, as we've seen, with the guy who was opposed to the hemp, the DuPont Corporation, and anyone who owned anyone who was supplying timber and lumber and paper.
It's definitely a
Nylon.
good move.
Do you know why nylon's called nylon?
No.
It was developed in New York and London.
Fucking
NY
A.
lon.
That, listener, right there is why you tune into us for the fucking hardcore factoids like that.
Or you watched
Well done.
QI because that's where you stole it from.
No, I actually read that in a book. I actually read that in a book a long time ago.
Oh, right, fair
I was ahead of
Was
the
it the
QI
QI
curve.
book of facts?
No, it was.
I did on QI.
I believe it was a history book about World War II. They on about obviously nylon was they needed nylon. So
There you
That's
go.
why the ladies
I'm
in the
not
video
challenging your
were
facts.
donating their stockings.
Mike challenged your
I'm not
facts.
sure whether QI debunked that then, maybe.
I don't know, but either way, I'm pretty
I've
confident.
heard it. It might have been debunked, I don't know.
I think now's as good as time as any to say you, dear listener, are the fact checker.
Because we're stoned.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
Marijuana.
Oh yeah.
So that's why weed and marijuana was made illegal. And of course, the 1936 film, Reefer Madness, is an American propaganda film revolving around a group of high school students that are lured by pushers to try that sweet, sweet marijuana.
Wasn't its original? It's got different names in different territories or something, is it? Warn your children.
Yeah,
or
that was
something
the
like
original name of it, yeah.
Should we at this point say, oh, you might have it in your notes somewhere anyway, but the fact that the papers chose to go, at the time, to go with the Mexicanized
Yes.
name of marijuana as opposed to cannabis sativa or the demon weed, you know, why did they choose to go with, why did they Mexican it up a bit
Yeah.
and paint
Well,
it as the Mexican?
Well, it was being painted as a drug that, you know, the people you didn't like coming into your society use, your immigrants, your black people, your Mexicans, your Hispanics. They're all on that.
And they're giving it to our white kids.
And they're giving it to the white kids.
Turns them crazy.
And
and
it's,
rapey.
well, hang on, let me just... It's basically... So they try the sweet, sweet marijuana, and then all hell breaks loose. And literally everything from a hit-and-run accident to manslaughter, suicide, attempted rape, hallucinations,
Infidelity.
descent into madness, cats and dogs living together. The end of the world, as we... But interesting to know, originally financed by a church group.
And this mother flubber bought it because he smelt money.
So it's all right to touch your kids, but no one gets high.
Yeah. So yeah, funded by a church group. That this guy bought it for national distribution and sold it different names in different markets, and he added some salacious shots and things like that because he was just trying to make money, spreading panic and fucking demonising this sweet, beautiful fucking plant, all in the name of him just trying to make a few quid. He probably didn't even have a dog in the race. He probably didn't care one way or the fucking other about what we did. He just bought this film that somebody else made cheap and went around and coupled that with what they were doing in the newspapers. And there's an entire generation out there who are always going to believe the fucking demon weed, aren't they?
It's ironic though, isn't it?
Thankfully, they're nearly all dead.
In 36, you've got your sort of your Second World War generation, haven't you? And then, but by Vietnam, so their kids when they're getting shit to it, they're all fucking on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, marijuana use amongst US soldiers in Vietnam was something like 70-80%.
Fucking hell.
It was.
Oh, you're making it sound fun. I wish I was there.
It was.
Yeah,
you know,
but imagine it's not going to be a good trip, guys.
no, because it's not when you're out in the jungle. Well, you might have one on the go when you're out in the jungle.
Nothing harsh as your
But when
buzz, like
you're in your fire base and you're off duty and you're in your bunker, that's when you all sit around, as in the platoon scene,
I was
they're
gonna
taking
say
bong
that.
hits through the fucking rifle.
Nothing's going to harsh your buzz more than
Then an incoming artillery
Yeah,
strike.
look, you're mooching over the jungle. Mooching through the jungle, stoned as fuck, thinking this is alright.
No,
and then
'cause-
your mate's head next to you just explodes all over your own face.
You might-
Bits of his brain are in your nostrils and your eyeballs. You're like, oh, that's going to sober you up.
It is, but also remember that you've got to have a bit of self-preservation, haven't you? You might have that joint on the go, but I guarantee you haven't packed it. I'll guarantee
well-
you it's not a fucking full strength
I
one.
don't
Like it's
know,
like,
mate. If I'm going out there, it's fucking jungle. I'm
yeah,
getting
but
fucking
remember, you've got to be alert as well. It's self-preservation. You've got to be alert. You've got to look
It'll
out
lower your heart rate.
for your buddies, mate. Your buddies next to you, you're looking out for them,
Oh,
remember?
fuck them. Self-preservation.
Yeah, but they're the guys you're smoking weed with back in the fucking base
I
camp.
can't even remember his name. I'm so stoned. Oh, Private, what's his fun?
But remember, self-preservation. Charlie's in the trees, man. You got to be on the fucking alert.
Charlie don't climb.
He climbed very well.
Charlie climbs like a motherfucking monkey. I'm too high for this shit. They're firing from above.
Yeah. There's no way I could do it, to be fair.
But when you're in your, like I say, when you're in your fire base and you're in your bunker and other people are on guard that night and you've got the night off, that's when you're chonging it up, smoking your fucking
I'd be
bongs
jabbing
into
it
the
up my
rifle.
asshole if I was in Vietnam. Anything to fucking hell. I wouldn't handle war well, especially not a jungle war. I wouldn't handle just put me in the jungle without a war, and I'll be really uncomfortable and crap. Add on top of that one of the most vicious face-to-face, like hand-to-hand wars of modern times. I'm not going to be very well. I'll be honest
You'll
with
be
you.
the war
Stress
poet.
levels. I'm too nervous to write, too mentally fucking. I won't know what a pencil is, it'll make no sense. I'll jab myself in the eye with it. Private Vincent, what are you doing? I can't fucking. People keep exploding, I don't want to see anymore.
Section 8.
You've been known as the blind wall opponent.
Yeah, you just recite shit off the top of your head, sat there with 2 eye patches on.
I felt his brain explode against my cheek. And I thought, oh, how
Shit.
meek.
I wish I wasn't smoking this joint.
I wish I had my eyes back.
I lost my eyes and my hands, so I can't get high.
Anyway, this film.
Choosing your nose.
It's not edibles.
Yeah. Just so eating the floor.
So-
Kill me now.
This film did vanish for a while. It was rediscovered in the 70s. Reefer Madness. We'll get back to that in a second. Fortunately, though, critics panned it as one of the worst films ever made.
Yes. Are you aware of the band Sublime?
I'm
I
not.
like Sublime.
Yeah, they sample this movie where the guy said in the song smoke 2 joints. It samples a line where he goes, and furthermore, Susan, I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised to find that all 4 of them habitually smoked marijuana cigarettes.
Oh, I have heard that song. Yeah.
Reefers. And then it kicks in. Yeah, that's from Reefer Madness, I do believe.
So let's play the trailer.
Oh, yay!
We have the trailer, so you can find this on YouTube. Reefer Madness, original trailer from 1936.
These high school boys and girls are having a hop at the local soda fountain. Innocently they dance. Innocent of a new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell. In this film, you will see the ease with which this vicious plant can be grown in your neighbor's yard, rolled into harmless-looking cigarettes, hidden in an innocent shoe or watch case.
If you want a good smoke, try one of these.
You will meet Bill, who once took pride in his strong will as he takes the first step toward enslavement.
Of course, if you're afraid.
Smoking the soul-destroying reefer, they find a moment's pleasure, but at a terrible price. Debauchery, violence, murder, suicide,
That shouldn't be funny, but
and
it
the
is.
ultimate end of the marijuana addict. Hopeless insanity. See this important film now, before it is too late.
Reefer Madness. Tell your children.
Well, I'm going to jump out the fucking window.
It's not a funny subject, a woman jumping out a window. It was just the terrible acting that made me laugh.
It was the way it was shot was awesome.
Was that like a really badly dressed fireman?
It was a very obvious stunt double in a shit fright wig.
Yeah.
It
was.
And the woman just freaks out and jumps out the window.
Yeah.
As if. There's a Bill Hicks bit on that, isn't there, Mike? Who's do Ben's head in with it. But he's basically saying, the fucking idiot on drugs who decides to dive out the window, fuck him. He's an idiot.
I think I have actually heard this
If he
bit,
thought
yeah.
he could fly, he should have tried it on the ground first.
That's a valid
tested
point.
it out.
Yeah, maybe
Dove
jumped off
out
a
the window.
bench.
Fucking idiot. What about the millions of people who took drugs that day and didn't jump out of the windows? Let's talk about them. Even if we did make this woman throw herself out of a window, God rest her soul, thank you for your service.
No, you're going to say thank you to your service.
Right. I get confused with it. So yeah, even if she did, there's loads of people who didn't. So fuck her.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm arguing with and why I'm doing my argument.
No, we're all
I'm
agreeing with you. Yeah.
Yeah, Reefer Madness, it annoyed me.
So yeah, and weed has been pretty much demonised in America and much of the Western world, apart from Holland, and Canada's now legalised, of course.
Yeah, by all the stiffs and the straights, man.
Yeah.
The uniforms, the CIA.
Well, the CIA probably.
Those of
studying
us in the know, since the 60s and before then, we've always known those of us in the know. It's only the authorities, isn't it?
Yeah,
The man.
bastards.
Something touched me.
Poltergeist! Heatwave poltergeist!
Just stoned and paranoid. The Reefer Madness! Oh no!
So, let's skip to 2006.
Okay.
When a Colorado man, Mason Tvert, I think that's how you say it, challenged then mayor and eventual governor, possibly one of the best names ever here, John Hickenlooper,
Okay.
love that name, to a cannabis versus booze duel.
Wow,
Did
okay.
they get a stone man and a drunk
No, no,
man
no.
and pit
To
them
fight
together?
to death.
Hickenlooper owned brew pubs across the state, and it had made him very wealthy. So he owns breweries, he owns pubs, and he's selling booze to people. It had made him very rich. Tvert said to him, because he was in the legalise it camp, obviously, says, if you bring a crate of booze, I'll bring a pack of joints. And for every hit of booze you take, I'll take a hit of cannabis, and we'll see who dies first.
I like that.
Yeah?
What happened?
He went on to lead the legalise campaign, because this publicity brought along a
Oh,
referendum.
so the guy didn't take up the challenge?
Didn't take the challenge, no, because now
Yeah,
he's...
he'd lose, surely.
because
Yeah,
now
'cause
he...
you know, I would have done though.
Because now he is the governor. He was
Okay.
he's the mayor. He was the mayor. He went on to be the governor.
But it would have been controversial. However, imagine I'm there taking my shots. He's next to me taking his hits, feeling smug 'cause he knows there's no way he's going to lose. And as I take a shot, I just take out my registered conceal and carry handgun and just fucking point blank range shoot him in the fucking head. Well, you died getting stoned, you silly fuck.
Yeah, but then they
As
say
the
that
screaming masses run away. And
And the police-
I blow the smoke for the end of the gun and wink at the camera. Fucking rock star, baby. Yeah, I'd get shot
And then
down.
you're taken down in a hail of gunfire.
Yeah, suicide by police, but I'd be... Hey,
and then the argument for booze making people violent would come to the fore.
yeah.
Booze would get
Yeah.
banned and weed would be illegal.
Yeah,
Stop
so you just
finding
lost your own
logical
argument. And
holes in my
also,
fantasies.
also, Mike, another of Gaz's fantasies that ends in a shootout.
Oh, no, I've been watching a lot of action films. You're the gun-obsessed one who wanted to act out Zulu on the front lawn, not me.
Nothing wrong with the Martini Henry .45, Gaz.
You're the cult suicide obsessed.
Yeah. Shootout obsessed.
I'm not shooting.
Always ended him killing himself. Yeah. Dying in some kind of
Going out in a
martyr.
blaze of glory. I'm a martyr. It's my ego. Yes. You've just psychoanalyzed me live on air. How high are we?
Fairly. The scientific evidence suggests cannabis is safer than alcohol, as we know. Alcohol kills 40,000 a year in the US, and cannabis kills nobody. There obviously is the data that suggests that it can cause psychosis. But in all
some
fairness,
people.
everything I read about that, and in some people you're right, probably usually with an underlying medical.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah.
But remember that the people who end up with this psychosis are literally smoking 20 to 30 joints a day.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you smoke 20 to 30 cigarettes a day, you're going to be dead fairly quickly.
Well, not necessarily.
No, all right. Let's say you're drinking 20 to 30 shots a day, you're going to be dead very
It's all
quickly.
genetic and
I
environment.
was literally about to say, every human body is so vastly different. Like, my partner, for instance, she comes from a family of users. Oh, no, that sounds bad. Of smokers. Users makes it sound like heroin. But like a sister, a brother, a father, but she's one of the people who it just doesn't agree with. She doesn't like the way it makes, she gets very paranoid very quickly. I've got a couple of friends like that, so they just don't touch it. It doesn't agree with them. I know some people who drink beer, they're fine, they drink scotch and they go all fucking weird. And throw a bin through a kebab shop window. Do you know what I mean? It affects everybody so differently, and someone with schizophrenia underlying or some other mental condition, it might not sit well with them.
Sort of like the Slenderman girls. They had obviously undiagnosed schizophrenia. What if they'd have smoked weed in later life? That triggered something else off.
And you shouldn't start smoking before 25.
Before your brain started developing.
Yeah.
The first time I
That's
got
me,
stoned,
okay.
it made me act a bit weird. I remember the guy who gave it me, my friend Carl, I think we were about 15 or 16, and we were sitting around a fire at his house, his parents were away, and he gave me my first ever smoke. And I can remember it made me go very silly, and I couldn't stop doing silly voices and like weird voices and things, amusing myself, but I couldn't stop it. And I remember him saying distinctly, like, I will never give you weed again. I was like, oh.
I think we've all had good and bad experiences. the good massively outweigh the bad.
But I'm saying it didn't start well for me, but I've grown into it. I think it's a welcome accompaniment to life.
That's it.
I really do.
As long as it's done responsibly and
Well, that's it. But if like I say, if you're smoking 20 or 30 a day, then and it's all that causes psychosis. Well, just don't smoke 20 or 30 a day. If you're getting to that point where you're smoking 20, 30 a day, you've obviously got a problem. You need to stop.
I don't think it's the 20, 30 a day. That doesn't help, obviously, but I think it's they've got the underlying condition that needs to be triggered by something. Their brain isn't developed properly. I think that's the way it goes down.
I know my short-term memory's bollocks.
Well, that is one of the
there are downsides to it. I have very big memory problems, but hey.
I've got a decent long-term memory. It's just a short-term, like what happened yesterday. Fucking hell, what did happen yesterday?
Dates and things. I'm shit at dates and anything like that, and names, people's faces and
but
facts. I'm okay with.
Well, that's just the way your brain works. I mean, I'm great with faces, but not so good with names. But I've always been that way.
Like accentuates them.
Exacerbates.
Exacerbates.
I hate to speak ill of the heavenly nectar, but the heavy alcohol intake may also factor into the lack of memory. To be perfectly honest,
it's not. I
have that as well.
This is my first night on lager for ages now. Since actually a week.
Whether alcohol still count?
No, yeah. I've been doing Southern Comfort because it's got less calories. I'm on a diet.
I think alcohol does actually destroy brain cells, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I think that's pretty.
Whereas
obvious.
cannabis makes love to them.
Makes love to my brain cells.
Well, that's how they fit in, like they.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Bit of science
a very
later.
nice way to put it.
All right, bit of science later. So I will finish off the story of Mason Telford, who went on to lead the legalised campaign, in which 55% of citizens in Colorado voted in favour of.
Yeah.
All that money that they basically get from marijuana tax
Shitload, don't they?
is put into
Excess
schools,
money.
building schools, funding schools, and support for cannabis use has now risen to 69%.
69, dude.
And even the now Governor Hickenlooper is in favour of it.
Well, he has to be, doesn't he?
Well, he has
because
to be.
they've got excess
His
money.
political career's gone.
Yes,
Am
but
I
you
right?
also remember that he's probably going, well, you know what? I haven't got to worry about funding shit anymore, have I?
Am I right in saying they've got more money than they need, and they're giving it to other states? And
I
things
think
like
that might be
They've
the case,
They're
yeah.
literally swimming in fucking money.
Yeah.
And
All
other
the schools
states,
are built, the roads are fixed, the police force is happy, paid for.
and you've got less
fire
crime
engines.
because people are smoking weed rather than drinking
Crime's
booze.
down, and you've got more money than you know what the fuck to do with. Well, why in the holy name of everything that's fucking holy and heavenly, haven't the rest of the states in America looked at that and gone, well, hang about, we could do with some of that.
Some have semi-legalised it, haven't they? You can get it with the doctor's permission.
I think California recreational now, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Canada has gone completely legal, much like
Uruguay.
Holland. Uruguay as
Portugal.
well. Portugal.
I'd speak other states, wouldn't you? Surely that's
You
a
in
quick
Spain
fix.
now?
Spain, you can grow it now. You got so many plants and.
Right. You
Only
can't
a
buy.
certain amount.
You can't buy it from a shop
No,
though.
I don't think so.
You just grow it at home for personal
Yeah.
use. So yeah, so I mean, Holland obviously you can literally go into a cafe and
Even
buy
in
it.
Durham, in this country, the police have said that you can grow up to 2 plants
Where's
and they won't bother you. Near Newcastle.
Let's go.
That was wasn't that where that sex club was with the midget that got thought
Yeah,
it
it was,
yeah.
Ah, so
You can grow your weed, go to visit a sex club,
Yay.
see the mistress in a
I'm here
dungeon.
to see the dwarf.
I'm here to see the 4'10" woman and smoke some weed. Now where's the 4'10" woman?
I'm balling.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it will become legal, and I know that. I mean, Daniel Craig, Layer Cake. You ever seen that movie?
I have.
Very start of that movie, he literally says, eventually all the governments will realise the amount of money they're missing out on, and they'll just legalise everything. Because they don't give a fuck. The money's coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does have.
That's not Daniel Craig saying they don't give a fuck,
does
but
have
he
some
says, you know,
medicinal benefits which people become more used to. So it's been legalised now in this country for medicinal use now, hasn't it? For epilepsy and things like that.
So do you think there was a conspiracy to make it illegal? Is
yeah,
it a conspiracy?
the hemp thing. I know hemp is not marijuana. There is they're the same family, but it would be classed as hemp, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So that's cheaper to produce than paper. It's an effective building source. It's the clothes. Well, there's 2 massive industries: the clothing industry, the cotton industry, the nylon industry, and then the timber guys. Because I mean, a lot of houses in America are built out of wood still.
Yeah.
In the suburbs, and them little nice wooden painted houses.
The ones that get destroyed in hurricanes.
That's the ones. But they've all got a set. They've all got an apocalypse cellar. So yeah, the motives there, as we've said many a time on this show. Follow the money.
Yes.
And where's the money? It's in timber.
I imagine that it also would be a massive, probably the biggest threat to the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh God, yeah.
that you could
But
imagine.
if they had control of it, then it's a big money spinner.
You can't patent a plant, can you? They'd have to patent a version of it or some sort.
Well, that's where you get the strains, isn't it?
Like
The different
THC
strains.
pill.
I was reading earlier at some of the strain names, and I recognised a few that I've had. I had Amnesia Haze the other week, was one I had off a guy, and I've had the famous one, which has won awards apparently, Girl Scout Cookies, which is a very, very fucking good smoke, by the way. I shouldn't be saying this, I'm a manager. But yeah, either way, fucking awesome, love it. But yeah, so that's where you get. So one company would do one strain, one company would do another, and so it's much like cigarettes. You get people that will only smoke Lambert and Butler, people that will only smoke Royals. There you go. That's your loyal customer base. Off you trot. You got different strains of weed.
It's like any dog weed. You know what I mean?
That's why I've got a bag of really cheap.
It's all you can get. It's all you can get.
I allegedly.
Yeah, but it's legal at this point, remember?
I allegedly bought a very large bag of not very good weed at all, but it was an extremely large bag, and I was like, that bag of not very good weed is going to last me a fucking long time.
I know, you smoke enough of it, it'll do the fucking job.
Yeah, it's not too bad, mate.
Yeah?
You know, we've had a bit.
I've smoked worse.
Yes.
Do a bit of science there, and...
Yes, can we call a quick piss break as well, please?
Yes.
And we're back, so what have you got for us, Mike?
We've got a video on cannabis and the endocannabinoid system.
Oh.
Science.
Sounds sciencey.
Very science.
Oh, that's got to be the fucking Mike science bit. Science. Dun, dun, dun. I bring you to learn. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
Science.
Mike science.
Genius.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Right, we're ready.
Science.
I think science.
Dun, dun, dun.
Take you to learn. Okay, here we go.
What do you really know about cannabis?
That it gets me
Well,
hard.
yes, that too. But did you know that cannabis has been used as a medicinal plant since the dawn of human history? That the medicinal use of cannabis gradually waned as opiates became more widespread? Closer to our own times, Raphael Mechoulam isolated and synthesized one of the main active components of the plant. The cannabinoid THC followed shortly afterwards by CBD. He discovered that this organic compound has the incredible ability of connecting molecularly with certain receptors housed in many of the cells in our body. This cannabinoid has sometimes been dubbed the key to a molecular padlock. By connecting the CB1 and CB2 receptors, cannabinoids act as chemical messengers. Mechoulam and his team wondered why there was a specific receptor in our bodies for this type of molecule. In 1992, a cannabinoid was finally located that is secreted naturally by our body. It was called anandamide. Subsequently, another similar molecule was discovered, also in our organism, which was called 2-AG. And it was discovered too that anandamide forms part of a wider system of intercellular communication in our bodies. This previously unknown system is known as the endocannabinoid system, and it is closely associated to our body's self-regulating processes, such as control of temperature and pH. It is involved in many different aspects, including motor coordination, neuroprotection, pain control, or appetite, among others. The endocannabinoid system helps maintain the complex balance between the different biological functions, a process known as homeostasis. THC and CBD are two of over 100 cannabinoids produced by the plant. The discovery of cannabinoids has opened up a new field in the research of the processes that regulate our organism. We know that some cannabinoids have therapeutic applications, which make them very useful in the treatment of pain, cancer, or HIV. Cannabis has been part of human life for thousands of years and has tremendous properties beyond its mere recreational use. Its key role for our understanding of the endocannabinoid system and its special relationship with the chemistry of our body makes it unique, and there is still much to be discovered.
Oh, so there you have it. It's good for you.
Screwy snacks.
Although when it said appetite, I thought, yeah, I do have a Pringles
For
addiction.
centuries, humans have been...
Yeah.
Essentially, I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. That's basically us and weed.
That's what I said about like the booze. Like it destroys brain cells with the cannabis because it fits and interlocks into your brain.
Like a
it
key.
makes love, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's literally making love to me right now.
Yeah.
It's like
Making love to them neurons, man.
Oh, my brain does feel tingly.
that weed is putting its little molecule dick in your molecule mind.
That's
your
fine.
molecule mind. No, it's wonderful when you think about it like that. Though you could get all religious about it and deeply philosophical and poetic.
You know
on a
what?
level I'm not capable of. You know what I mean?
Vaguely think there might be like a church of marijuana somewhere.
Our body
Yeah, there is definitely.
has special receptors that enable it to work. But if I go and scrunch up some nettles and burn them and suck on them through a pipe, it's not going to happen.
Nope.
If I go and burn a coconut tree,
And inhale the fumes.
Or the inside of banana skin.
Oh, we tried that as teenagers.
You taught that as well. You taught that.
Yeah.
it's an urban myth. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it doesn't
You did
work.
try it. You did try it.
You know, I could go through, list all the plants,
Smoke coffee.
and there's a lot of plants. Why?
I don't know. Just
Was
like
it
that.
something to do with like it was the?
It was Chris went. Our mate went through a bit of a phase, didn't he, of like smoking weird shit, and decided he wanted to smoke coffee.
Yeah,
And he says it gives you like a
an instant hit.
instant caffeine hit.
Well,
Although saying that, he also spent a long time and many match heads trying to filling a you know the old photo film containers, little black tubes you send your film off to be developed in.
yes.
Filling one of those with the scrapings off the match heads, making a homemade fuse and trying to make a very small bomb. It didn't work.
Well, it's of no surprise to find him in the kitchen
He had
fucking inhaling coffee.
He had a lot of strange interests.
He burnt my parents' kitchen table with magnesium.
He did. I remember that. He said, "Hey, look at this. The stuff burns." He put it on the kitchen counter, set it on fire, magnesium going off. I think he pinched it from school, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, how did that end? Were you getting seriously bothered?
Not seriously, but you know.
It was just a regular occurrence for science, Mike.
I
Him and
still
his
do some
experiment.
He had a
science.
chemistry set. Yeah,
Just like
the chemistry
Dexter.
set fell over.
I did have a chemistry set when I was younger. And a microscope, a biology kit. I think it was.
I should hope so. You're the science officer. I had my finger up my arse and snot dribbling down my nose.
Wow, rough childhood. Couldn't even wipe your nose.
I lived in a bin.
Because Mike was looking at organisms through his microscope.
Exactly. Get yourself lucky. Next time you take the mickey out of me, think about that.
Alright, Oscar.
Please, sir.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Oscar the Great.
Oh yeah, that was Oliver.
Yeah. I
The
don't know what
orphan.
you're on about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oscar the Grouch, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just
Oscar
in a
Grouch,
bin.
yeah.
I'll take that. It's so good. So.
So what we got then?
I didn't
Marijuana's
fall
great
down.
for us.
I didn't fall down a weed hole.
I've got a little bit on cancer.
What? Why? Oh, that it cures it. That's good news.
But
See,
I mean,
I don't trust a ponytail doctor.
Why not?
I don't know, because it's like
He's
you're a
more
doctor.
trustworthy
Be
as a
serious.
dude.
Be
No.
serious.
He's more trustworthy because he's a rebel. He's a dude. He's
No. The rebel doctor was my old doctor used to have an anatomical skeleton in the corner wearing sunglasses and a sombrero.
That's his
with a
sense of humour.
With a picture of Harold Shipman as his screensaver. But this ponytail doesn't fill me with confidence. If a bloke turned up to fix something in my house with a ponytail, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to have it again," and I just don't. It's not a symbol of respectability. The ponytail on a
cut
man.
behind him and cut it off.
Hey.
And then next to him.
Mine is
He
long
doesn't
enough.
immediately become responsible though. That's the problem.
My hair is now long enough to achieve ponytail status.
Yeah, but you're not coming around to fix something or cure me of a disease.
I'm gonna have a ponytail next
My
week.
beard is probably about
accuse you.
ponytail status.
I think you need to grow a ZZ Top beard, Mike, and then plait it. put little steel rings in it so it all clanks when you're walking. Metal as fuck.
Like a fucking Viking.
Viking beard.
The most unlikely Viking in the world. Because you're a pacifist. Only pacifist Vikings are knocking about.
I be a man of science and peace.
They just
Put down thy sword.
And let me tell you how the world works. And they just hack you to death.
The Vikings would have had bards as well.
Yeah, but he was also usually a bloke that stood in the shield wall with them.
Right, let's
I'd
not
stay in the
argue.
shield wall with them, wouldn't I? I just bit the back somewhere.
Eventually, because I've got to observe shit, haven't I?
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm the war poet.
But eventually someone's
The
gonna get.
Vikings.
But eventually someone's gonna get to you, and you're gonna have to defend yourself.
Anyway, let's not argue.
Yeah.
Play us the cancer video, Mike.
Yes. Let's hear what Dr. Rufus has to say. It's not his name. It's just he looks a bit like Rufus,
Yeah.
George Carlin with his ponytail. So let's go for.
Beautiful
Bear in
ponytail.
mind that this is from on a YouTube channel called Decriminalise It Jersey. I mean, it's going to be
A little bit biased.
a little bit biased, but you know,
Or is it just truthful?
there you go. Just bear it in mind. That's what I'm saying.
There's a wealth of laboratory evidence that these anti-tumor properties kill cancer cells in a variety of ways. There are multiple mechanisms of action identified by which cannabis kills cancer cells, and they're divided into various categories. And among these are anti-proliferative effects. Normally, that's one of the hallmarks of a cancer cell, is that it just keeps reproducing. So if you stop the reproduction, that's an anti-proliferative effect. There are anti-angiogenesis effects, and this means that the cannabinoids will stop the tumor from being able to elaborate or grow new blood vessels to support the growth of the tumor. There are anti-metastatic effects, and that is simple enough to mean that the cannabinoids block the ability of the cancer cells to spread into other tissues. And there's another effect that has a wild name, apoptotic effect. Apoptosis refers to the ability of cannabinoids to speed the death of the abnormal cells. And that's something that is especially important in cancer, because you're able to hasten the death of the cell without disturbing the normal cells around it.
Okay.
All right. So basically, if I get cancer, I can smoke pure weed because I can't have the tobacco with it, obviously,
I'd vaporise it.
or vape it.
Yeah.
Either way, take it in. You take those
Stuff it up
cannabinoids
your
into
bum.
my a cannabinoid. What's it called again?
Suppository.
Suppository.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a nice pill. I mean, just get actual leaves of it and stalks and just jab it up there.
Oh,
with a stick.
that's it. Oh, maybe I just hit the chemo. And I'll get my cancer will go.
Well, that's what he's saying.
Possibly.
All right.
He's
Well,
saying
it
that-
didn't actually point out to us who he was, though, did it?
Did it not?
No, it didn't
probably
say
said
his
his
name.
but we're too stoned to read it.
No, I did. I watched this earlier
All right,
when I
right.
wasn't stoned,
It
and
says at the bottom, excerpt from the documentary, What If Cannabinoids in Cannabis Cured Cancer and Other Diseases? So,
okay, but I watched this a little bit earlier when I wasn't as battered, and I didn't see a name then either.
or maybe there wasn't then.
So he was just a ponytailed
Oh,
man in a
it says-
suit in an office
No, hang on a
surrounding.
minute, hang on a minute.
In an office setting, telling me that if I get cancer and I just start taking loads of pure weed,
Yeah.
then that cancer will then just gradually disappear and vanish.
Well, it's
And
an
if it
But why is
doesn't-
no one testing that?
Well,
If it doesn't, you're going to die happy.
That's also very true, and in less pain though.
But people
isn't it?
do want to test it, but that's the thing. How can you get a license as a? But it's hard to.
What are all
do
these states that
legal
are,
testing?
Well, there's all these states where it's
They are
legal.
Doesn't
testing.
make it hard to do. Seriously.
It does say excerpt, so they may put his name at the front of the programme, but because we're taking it from
Yeah.
a chunk,
All right,
throughout
okay.
the thing, it might have his name.
And people do want to do research on this, but
Yeah,
it's very
well,
hard to get funding
yeah, exactly.
and to legally be able to do it.
That's
You're
why
dealing
I
with an
said
illegal
at the
substance.
beginning, this is a pro-cannabis
Group, yeah.
So we know what the negative.
So we-
you know what the negative are going to say. They're going to say the opposite, aren't they? So
Yeah.
you know, you gotta take it.
Truth
With
is
a pinch of
probably
salt,
somewhere
but-
in the middle. Is
There
it a
we go.
wonder cure-all drug? Probably not. But it can help with a lot of things. I
Well,
think
it
pain
certainly
relief,
helped with the pain relief, exactly.
mental health.
Well, he's
if you-
saying it causes cancer cells to actually.
Yeah, it kills off the blood supply to them and stops them
Yeah.
reproducing, is what he was saying.
Well, that's good.
how true that is I suppose these are long-term studies, though,
that's
aren't
why-
they? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
so if they are ongoing, you might have, I don't know, there might be, how many patients does it take over a period of time to
Remember, it
look
takes,
at the effects?
takes about 10 years before somebody invents something or discovers something for it to be tested rigorously before it's able to be, discussed as evidence.
Not in the case of vaping.
Well,
No one knows the effects of that yet.
We're all modern guinea pigs.
Well, yeah.
That always concerns me, the vaping thing. It's like, oh yeah, it comes from China, and I'm like, they're not too hot on like testing whether stuff's safe for me or not.
Do you know what's in it?
Nah.
Fucking bubblegum flavour, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? We're gonna show you the cloud up here, mate.
Look, see, the only time I'd vape is if I've got a fucking thing that can make me disappear like Batman if I throw down a smoke pellet and I go exhale such a cloud that I can just fuck off from the person I'm talking to and they don't notice.
Hell of a vape.
That's the only vape I'm interested in. When I find one that can do that, I'll take it up.
I did do it for a month or so.
What was
I did
concerning
it for 6 months.
What always
and
concerned me was the fact that on the when you put in the nicotine in, the liquid nicotine, it does say,
yeah, do not get on your skin.
do not get on your skin, wear gloves.
Incredibly harmful.
Extremely harmful.
Did you ever wear gloves to do
Corrosive.
it? Nope, neither did I.
We burn it with electricity till it's so hot that it creates vapour and suck it down our lungs. It's gonna be safer than them other fucking things, isn't it?
I'm of the belief, genuinely, that I think cigarettes are just as harmful as the vape. I think the vape is as harmful as the cigarettes. I really am.
Find out that in a few years. But... Oh well.
Says the man with a cough this week. To be fair,
Yeah, I got a cough too, but I blame.
I got a fucking cold last week. Within 32-degree heat, fucking poltergeist activities to the roof, and I got a fucking cold. It's unreal.
So
that's a science.
That's a science.
Should we?
Science.
Dun, 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 dun,
We'll take you
to learn. Dun, dun, dun.
There
See,
we go.
I'm a fucking musical genius.
We don't need to record that one. We'll just sing it every week.
Yeah.
Should we go through the top 8
Some top 8
from High Times?
Yeah.
Should we read one each?
Okay, shall I go first?
Go for it.
Big Pharma keeps weed illegal. Makes sense. Weed stays illegal on a federal level in the US, but its long history of prohibition relies on lies marketed to the masses about the plant. These lies are supported by the villain of this weed conspiracy, Big Pharma.
Big Pharma.
Big Pharma. It's no surprise that Big Pharma profits from the illegality of weed. Other drugs like opiates made by these companies can be legally prescribed and are sold in mass quantities across the country.
And the opiates are
The addictive shit.
epidemic that they're killing
Exactly.
untold amounts of people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But because they can't regulate cannabis because you can grow it in your own home.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Can I just point something out about the medicinal
What makes
use?
it dangerous?
I've had a cold for a week. I smoke weed nearly every night.
Good
Like,
play.
I don't. My cold is always not as annoying when I'm
Right.
high. So pain relief.
There we go.
Boom. My nose stops running.
It's interfering with your endocannabinoid system.
That's it. That's what it's doing.
Making love to it, baby.
Oh, yeah. And
Your
I'm making
mind
love
is
to
being-
it.
Your mind's being fucked by microbes.
So yeah, I'm definitely with Big Pharma. Not with Big Pharma. Definitely with
Soon as it's a Freudian slip, he's a Big Pharma shill.
He's a man of science.
Cannabis is bad.
Cat scared the living holy fuck out of me then. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. It was me taking a piss out of the poltergeist. I thought that was a demon attack live on it. The cat just dived out of a window behind me across me and scared the living fuck out of me.
Did you do a ghost shit?
It's not a ghost shit, Mike. It's very real. Very tangible. I can only apologise for what I've done to your seat. Oh, dear.
Oh, what's the next one?
Hemp and the racist US government.
Oh, the real government's not racist. Jesse Lee Peterson told me that a few weeks ago.
What are they saying then?
So back in the 1920s, the commissioner at the Federal Bureau of Narcotics began telling lies about cannabis.
Oh, Harry Anslinger.
Yeah, we've been through this.
Yeah. There's your big one, really.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, blazed up.
Hey.
Go on, do you want to do it?
Of all the weak conspiracies, this weak conspiracy is a hit of biblical proportions.
Hey!
Buddy Christ.
Buddy Christ. Oh man, I should have
Did
bought it.
Christianity's leading man enjoy the devil's lettuce? No one living.
The devil's lettuce.
No one living today walked alongside Jesus Christ as he performed his miracles.
Yeah.
Just don't say.
Wow. So no one really knows if the guy didn't keep a tightly rolled J behind his ear for those long journeys.
He certainly enjoyed anointing oil made of nanny bosom, otherwise known as cannabis. Apparently, did he?
Well, all those healing balms.
The devil's lettuce.
The dope dude known as JC also enjoyed burning incense made from the plant, allegedly.
The devil's lettuce sounds more like my ex-girlfriend's vagina. Hey,
The burning man in a podcast is back. We haven't done anything like that for a while.
Burning Manning podcast. We're back.
Back in the 70s, baby.
We're back, baby.
Also, apparently, another one, packing that bowl makes what you're packing shrink.
Oh,
okay.
Apparently, zoning in on male insecurity, this conspiracy suggests that smoking ganja may reduce the length of that male appendage by up to 1 centimetre.
Jesus Christ, we're looking left.
Wow.
I don't see that one working somewhere while I'm still as hung as I ever was. Not very hung. Just massively thick.
It's all about the girth.
Exactly. I could nickname my penis the triple girth burger with cheese.
Yeah, with lots of knob cheese.
I didn't say I washed it. Moving on.
Moving on from Ben's knob
Moving
cheese.
swiftly on from... Yes, I'm not going to say it. Next.
Neo-Nazis and the Nation of Islam believe Jews want everyone high. And there's a charming picture of some shabby white people with crappy berets on and t-shirts with white power written on them.
He looks... We've got the back. It's definitely from the 80s.
He's very 80s, the guy. I think the guy on the right with his moustache is very 80s. Can't shape his beret though. He really did not work on that.
It could be a very 80s picture, actually.
I'll be honest,
could be.
I'm not the toughest of guys, but they don't look that in shape or particularly... I think I could
The
take
guy on the
them.
right looks reasonably in shape. The guy on the left looks a bit doughy.
The guy on the left, I could take him.
Yeah, and he can't shape his beret properly. Well, neither can the guy on the right, actually.
If I had a rock, I'd... Well, they're not a real army, are they?
Well, it doesn't take much to know how to shape a beret.
Oh, actually, he's got dog tags on, so maybe he's ex-military and he could take me down.
Or maybe he's just been to the military surplus store and bought some dog tags.
To be fair, in the subway stations in Milan, you could go into a passport photo machine type thing and have dog tags printed.
Oh right.
There and then.
That's handy though for people with any medical things who lose a tag or shit.
It's supposed to be just a little gift type thing, I suppose.
Oh right. No, I was looking at a more serious level.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's because you're very serious.
You guys
are serious time. You're the broadcast journalist we need. You're the broadcast journalist Telford needs.
But I'm either gonna die a hero or live long enough to see myself become the villain, guys. That's the problem.
Well, some might say you're already the villain. Yeah,
I've always liked the villains. They're always more
To be
interesting.
honest, you haven't shut my dreams too much this episode. There's time left yet.
Yeah. Don't get married, Gash, and half your stuff.
Tell me about the
There you go, I'll try a little bit there, there's that.
I'm ignoring you.
Should take half your Hulk Hogan stuff.
Hey! Tell me what the white power man said about weed.
Right, well, speaking of wrestling, you guys know more than me. Does it look like the narcissist Lex?
It fucking
A
does.
little bit, yes.
It fucking does. Oh, man.
Well, there's an article, some high times if you want to go and find it.
Okay.
Yeah, but he does look like Lex Luger.
Doesn't he?
Yeah. Do you want to take this one while I smoke this
Oh,
shot?
go on then. Most weed conspiracies receive little following from the masses. Instead, these tall tales stay with the most paranoid of society. For this conspiracy, two extremist groups with mostly
Oppositional.
thank you, politics maintain the same view. Both the Nation of Islam and neo-Nazis blame, quote, Jews for using marijuana to control members of their groups. For those engaged with the Nation of Islam, they claim that Jews who run the marijuana industry encourage the consumption of weed in black men. Some members of the Nation of Islam believe that once these black men use bud, their lifestyle changes. They become emasculated and become easy to manipulate and control. As a result, both Jewish people and weed receive blame for the destruction of members of their group. But neo-Nazi groups also fault the Jewish population for ruining generations of their group through the catalyst of weed. Their stance relies on the claim that Jews control the marijuana industry. The neo-Nazis claim they benefit from the profits of advertising and selling the drug. Based on this stance, they argue that the Jewish people are guilty for the white youth growing up blitzed and disinterested. Both groups may be smoking themselves. This conspiracy is so far-fetched.
Yeah, I'm down with that. It's a bit fucking. It's basically a bunch of people wanting to blame the Jews or something, isn't it?
I think I remember this being touched upon in American History X.
Ah, yes, because he says he goes to meet the white supremacists in prison. Spoiler alert. And and they offer him a joint, don't they? And he says, "No, that's a black man's drug." And they're like, "No, shut the fuck up."
It's just controlled by the Jews or something, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
And they're white, so it's okay, or something like that.
Well,
Yeah.
if the neo-Nazis are saying it, then I'm not really with it.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Not many of my policies and neo-Nazis line up.
But they don't.
Well, no, I'm on a complete opposite spectrum.
You're more liberal than Gandhi.
I did, honestly, guys, I did one of those political things.
Yeah.
Answer other questions, it puts you on a political map with fictional people. Apparently, I'm more left than Gandhi. So if I'm sat here wearing sandals and a nappy in a few years' time, I've hit Pete Gandhi.
Does that mean you've gone full Gandhi?
Wow. Full Gandhi.
I never go full Gandhi.
Does that mean you're
You'll be sleeping with teenage
You're
girls?
I
had no shag then, mate.
Well, it's Telford.
they just massaged me.
Telford.
The Gandhi of Telford. It's a completely different story.
That goat episode earlier wasn't actually about a goat, it was a randy goat. It was Mike, he had changed over a tree.
On that note, could we
I'm not a
pause it
sex
for a
pest.
week? You might want to repeat that before we pause it.
Go on.
I'm not a sex pest.
And we're back, so what we got next? The Cannabis Candy Conspiracy.
I have never heard this
I've
one.
not heard this one either.
No. The edible market produces a fruitful supply of canna candy. But since the release of ganja gummies and chocolate into the recreational and medicinal weed market, a candy conspiracy has taken hold over the population. News programmes have utilised fear tactics to scare parents about these candies ending up in their child's trick-or-treat bags. Although, to be fair, Gaz, you mentioned earlier that you've had children and a puppy to look after this weekend, right? Now, if you could have given them a couple of
Cannabis
gummy bears,
gummy bears.
Here's a couple of sweets for you
Knock
girls.
them the fuck out.
Yeah.
I would have definitely done it without my girlfriend knowing and just been, oh, look how tired they are.
Yeah, they've really wore themselves
They're
out.
tired. But if it backfired and they didn't actually go to sleep and they just started eating loads of crisps and watching Cheech and Chong films or conspiracy documentaries, talking really
Gaz,
low,
can you
like,
put Netflix on?
Yeah. And they watched the whole 12 hours of the pyramid fucking What have you done to them? Did you give them a cannabis gummy bear?
No.
Look at their fucking eyes! It's makeup. It's pen. Pink pen. If I could guarantee that they would knock the fuck out, yeah, I'd probably do it. It's probably questionable parenting, but hey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe not just knock them out, maybe just make them a bit more chilled.
A bit more mellow?
Yeah, one each.
I'd go for that, yeah.
It's just like, hey, let's instead of chasing the puppy round, let's sit here with the puppy.
Yeah, let's just sit by him.
Yeah.
Chase a dragon instead.
Instead of giving them heroin, Mike.
On some foil. Now, Daddy's going to burn underneath the foil, and as I move the light...
Hang on, you calling yourself Daddy now?
Well, when I'm explaining heroin, yes.
Daddy Gas.
It takes the fucking...
Is that your
edge off
heroin
it.
dealer name? Daddy Gas.
I like that that's the part of the
Big
story
Daddy
that
Gas.
That's his pimp name.
I like that the part of the story that disturbed you most was me referring to myself as Daddy, not teaching them how to inhale the burnings of heroin powder on a piece of foil.
Well, yeah. My priorities aren't quite in order. But either way...
You need to make a little pipe out of this bit of foil, and that's how you're gonna, you know... Anyway. Yes, I'd give them heroin too if it was not...
Totally immoral.
Well, it's only society's rules that look down upon it. In practical terms, it would be a massive fucking help.
Look, if she was in a... God, she isn't in like a car accident or something, she'd be on morphine, wouldn't she?
Well, yeah.
So that's heroin.
And that's socially
That's
acceptable.
true, yeah.
But me fucking giving her a bit of street smack on some foil, all of a sudden I'm a bad parent.
I think they would be taken away, you know. That's how bad it, and you'd probably be imprisoned.
A bit of black tar heroin I bought from Billy the Shiv.
Yeah.
Billy the Shiv.
From Shady Derek.
Shady Derek.
Ooh, don't fuck with Shady Derek. He'll slap you with his briefcase.
That's the shittest gangster I've ever heard.
No,
Shady
he's just...
Derek.
Yeah. I was instead of a comedy effect, that's
That's
why.
a
That's how
character
shit it is.
from this show.
This is a dog.
Was he a middle class gangster?
No, he's a homeless bloke. He's covered in his own shit. He's selling his dodgy smack.
I'm not going to buy smack off a man who's encrusted in his own shit, man. I don't care how bad my habit is.
Sounds
If
cheap.
he can't wash himself, what state's his fucking gear going to be in? Does he keep it in the same trousers that he shit himself in?
Yeah.
In the pocket?
But it's cheap as fuck.
I don't like this Derek fellow. I buy my smack from a reputable street vendor.
Billy the Shiv.
Yeah, Billy the Shiv. He washes his arse.
Well, sometimes the cash flow demands it.
What the fuck are we babbling about? What are we on about?
Could we do the next one?
Oh, God bless
Ben's
Cannabis.
literally crying. Oh, what happened?
Aliens are trying to steal our weed.
Oh, yeah, that's
Fucking
man.
hell.
That explains everything.
Oh, man.
Oh, so I might have to read this one while I recover a little bit.
So, so maybe aliens aren't responsible for the construction of the Sphinx or the Great Pyramid, but there may be a bigger weed conspiracies brewing surrounding Martians and marijuana.
Why only Martians? Where were the Venetians?
It is very...
Where were the Greys? Where were the
alienish.
Nordics? Where were the Reptilians?
Well, it's brevity. Some people think that recent UFO sightings, kept quiet by the world's governments, may be extraterrestrial missions to commandeer the Earth's weed yield for their own purposes.
Well, that could be absolutely true.
Bastards are nicking our weed.
Joint-shaped vessels.
Oh, on a moor, joint-shaped.
Joint-shaped vessels have been spotted orbiting the night skies, swooping low enough to be visible to the most paranoid of human eyes. Are they sizing up the cannabis crop? Will smokers of the world unite for the common cause to protect the Earth's dankest resource from the aliens?
Damn right I would.
Or is it,
The dankest resource. That's
or is
great.
it just another of many weed conspiracies?
No, it's fucking true. I'm with it.
No.
On a moor was a fucking scout joint. That's what it was.
Yeah, I'd sign up to fight for that.
Yeah.
Have you ever-
Stealing our weed.
Right,
Fuck
now,
you, aliens.
have you
I
ever
can cope with anything else, but fucking don't do
We'll
that.
have to fight them for it. But have you ever experienced this as a stoner? Have you ever made a joint and you've been somewhere where you need to go outside to smoke it or something, and you made the joint, you put it down somewhere, and you prepare whatever else you're taking with you, and then you can't find the fucking joint?
Yeah.
Have you ever had that experience?
Many a time, yeah.
Maybe this is where they go.
That's it.
Teleportation.
Or I was going to say, I was thinking in my head, like, you know how logic and intelligent I am. I was thinking, how do these ships get close enough to reach out and take our weed without us noticing? But obviously it's teleportation technology.
Yeah.
Of course.
Locked in on the
Yeah,
cannabinoids.
tractor beams.
Yeah.
that
Give
sort
me
of
up,
thing.
Scotty.
Weedy beams. weedy, 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 and it makes that noise.
Oh yeah.
Going, like a Batfink cartoon as you see it.
You need to put that in Space Force. If there's ever a teleportation thing, you need to say weedy, weedy,
It makes that noise.
Yeah.
Okay. Space Force coming soon. Who wants to read the next one?
I'll do the next one then.
Go for it.
Weed helped build the pyramids,
Wow.
not aliens.
Well, it was aliens. Half
Mate.
aliens.
Few things bring awe as much as the pyramids of Egypt. Many theorists think that the monuments in the sand were built with the leadership of extraterrestrial life. More likely, these huge edifices were just built on the backs of thousands of slaves.
Did anyone see the news recently about the pyramids? And they found out what the inside was used for.
What was it used for?
An energy source. Shit you not.
How does that work then?
Well, how is that proven? So somebody has once and for
Yeah.
all settled the debate. They were.
Well,
friendly.
no. This is what they're. This is
Oh,
what
it's a
they're- this
theory.
is the theories. This is what they're
Proposed by a
finding.
ponytailed man.
Could well be.
The same ponytailed man from the video earlier?
Dun, dun,
Dun!
That's what conspiracy theory is all about. Joining the dots where others don't even see dots.
Yeah, see your local conspiracy distributor.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it was a respectable source that I read it from,
Okay.
and not reptilians.com.
You're a reptilian show now as well.
Beano.com.
You're gonna
Anyway,
learn your enemy, Ben.
I tried that, but I got kicked out. One of the Flat Earth Society. Anyway, but who's to say these hard workers didn't enjoy a smoke sesh to help the workday move along? Evidence shows that they were the first to use pot as a medicinal treatment for cancer and inflammation. Also, Egyptians employed the versatile hemp plant for a number of goods, like textiles and rope. Furthermore, that rope itself served as a critical component of many pulley systems that helped build the pyramids. So yeah,
Well, they might have had a smoke at break time.
it's a possibility. You know, I'm picking up rocks all day. Wouldn't mind a couple of joints for an hour, would you?
Yeah, you'd want a chang.
Yeah. Right. Is that everything we've got for cannabis? I think.
I believe it is. So let's say that we're all in favour of cannabis and that it's been held back.
Mhm.
Of course it has.
More research needed for medical purposes.
Exactly. And recreational.
We are
That
the
should be
research
legalised
mind.
anyway,
We are
because
the
it's
research.
proved in Portugal. They legalised it like 10 years ago, all the drugs. Drug use has gone down, violent drug offences have gone down, all this.
Theft as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, inequality's gone down, everything.
And they also abandoned austerity,
Yep.
didn't they?
Yep.
And Portugal's doing really well.
Of course, austerity doesn't work.
But you don't hear that in
you
the
just
British
spend
press, do
to
you?
get yourself out of recession. You don't fucking cut back.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
let's
do
not
it.
make the weed
Yeah,
episode economical.
yeah.
I'm only joking.
No, you're right.
If
Let's
you
not
want
do
to.
it. No, fuck that. No bastards.
But even
Get
so,
Mike's blood pressure up.
Yeah, we don't want it,
supposed to be
man.
getting him high.
That's it.
either way, we
I
can
don't
all
talk
agree
about
on that.
rankings.
I think we all agree that it should be legalised.
Yeah, and I think it's a conspiracy that it wasn't.
I think it was certainly the hemp thing with the timber. Hey, let's get the timber. Oh no, the weed's cheaper though. No, the hemp's cheaper. No, yeah, but I just pay the Congress some money.
Yeah, that's,
Next thing you
that's
know.
obvious, isn't it?
We owe the entire development of modern society as we know it to the hemp plant because, to get philosophical for a moment, if I may be so bold,
You
dear
have
chaps.
permission, sir. Permission granted.
Well, thank you. The very first words written down were on hemp paper. The first sails that
Yeah.
fucking hit the oceans and sailed
Yeah.
to new lands were made of fucking hemp.
The ropes that hold those sails up and with the anchor chain,
So
anchor
the
cables, things
exploration,
like that. Yeah.
right? The exploration, the development of language and the human mind, and the spreading of ideas because it needed something to be written down upon. Hemp is right there, and then the fact that you burn this other part of the plant, and all this freaky, cool shit happens in your brain, man. It's
Yeah.
fucking, you know,
Because our brain has receptors that actually receive
they're
stuff.
programmed, man.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's
I
like
think we've grown up with it throughout human history.
Me too.
It's
I think
evolved from
we've been
apes.
smoking it that long. Our brains have evolved to accept it and
Yeah.
give us that buzz. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
The first ape that came down and smoked it, you know, he had the mutation in his brain. He thought, fucking hell, this is
Imagine
great.
that.
Or
for
eating
the
it.
chimp. The chimp bends down.
Eating it,
he
yeah.
makes rudimentary fire underneath the weed bush. He inhales it, and then in his mind he hears dan 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 dan
Dun, 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 dun.
and and he just lays back and everything just starts to look amazing and wonderful. And yeah, man, it can't be a bad thing. Look, if you're a 15-year-old stuck in your bedroom smoking it all day every day, you're going to end up with a bit of mental health issues and some social issues that, you know, I don't recommend that at all. If you're a responsible adult, you can afford to do so. It's not fucking with your day-to-day responsibilities, and fucking have at it. You're a responsible adult.
Yeah.
So just fucking, I mean, to me, it's a lovely part of my life, and it has been for a long time now, really. And yeah, man, I can't say enough good things.
But would you say that you are, even though you love it, you are an addict? Would you agree that there's an addiction?
Yes, sir. But I believe that it's
we're all on the same boat. We're all regular smokers.
Yeah. I think it's habitual more than physiological.
I would agree with that. It's
chemical.
It's habitual.
It's a mental.
Instead of having a beer,
psychological, isn't it?
Yeah.
Psychological dependence rather than a.
It's not. My body's not going to shut down and throw up and then danger of me dying, which is a danger coming off other very addictive substances.
Yeah.
Cigarettes.
Coming off booze suddenly. That's what kills people.
Yeah, it's dangerous for severe alcoholics. I know it is. So yeah, I would say it's addictive, but in a different. And that might sound like a cop-out answer to someone who doesn't smoke. Obviously, we're proponents here. The show is powered by fucking getting stoned together, three mates getting high, having a chat about weird shit. It helps. It's good.
Yeah.
But I realise the people out there who are anti-marijuana would say, well, that's a cop-out answer to say, oh, it's psychologically dependent. Well, go a week without smoking it. I don't have to. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Why do I want to go a fucking week without smoking it? Are you fucking mad?
Well, I enjoy it, so fuck it.
Yeah.
The world's a fucking crazy place.
Yeah.
And
it distracts me from shit.
I need advice.
And also, when I do smoke it, and I do the research for this show while I'm smoking it, and it leads me down rabbit holes.
That's it. I think it's
and
so
I find
creative.
shit.
I can't do anything creative. Well, I can, but it's so much better
with some weed, isn't
Oh,
it?
fucking hell.
That comic book was powered by weed.
I will sit there and play fucking
coffee.
Football Manager at home for 6-7 hours straight, right? When I should be doing other stuff. Believe me, I should be doing other stuff, but no.
Are you blissfully happy?
Fucking amazingly happy.
I wrote a fucking rap song on weed.
I won this last season, Premiership, Community Shield, League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. Boom! I am the fucking daddy on Championship Manager now in that fucking universe.
That's only because I'm not in the game anymore.
I've been fucking.
Okay, let's not argue over a literal fantasy fucking world of football.
Yes, but on weed, Gaz, on weed, when you get into it,
I can imagine.
It's fucking amazing.
I do the same thing, but just with different games.
Now you're in this committed relationship, you're not allowed to play it, Gaz, because if you do, you'll get addicted to it. The kids will go out the window. That'll be it.
Oh,
people have had divorces over Championship Manager.
I think, people divorce over gaming. But you know,
see, Championship Manager, addictive. Everything's addictive.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Caffeine.
Fortnite is the new big thing, isn't it? Fortnite, the game Fortnite. Never played it. All the kids are online now. They're playing like 2 weeks solid and soiling themselves. Genuinely, apparently, I read it in an article. Like his mum, he wouldn't leave the computer, soiled himself, wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink.
Computer games are addictive. Fallout when I first got that. Fucking hell.
Games are addictive.
Modern Warfare 2.
Have we wrapped?
Yeah.
We all love weed.
Let's do some weird news.
Yeah, let's do some.
Yeah.
And then have we got full Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Bless him. It's been a rough week for St. Alex.
Oh man.
I think we should promote him to Pope Alex now, to be honest.
Well, no, he's going to be a martyr, isn't he?
Martyr Alex.
He'll get gunned down in a couple of weeks in some kind of...
Oh, don't say that.
He'll be like, go outside on his lawn waving a handgun and the police will arrive and shoot him.
And he lies there in a pool of green blood.
Exactly.
So, the news.
The news. First article's from time.com.
Oh,
MIT creates world's first psychopath robot.
Oh, great.
Researchers at the MIT Media Lab have trained an AI algorithm nicknamed Norman.
Oh,
for fuck's sake.
A reference to the character of Norman Bates in Psycho, brilliant film by the way, to exhibit psychopathic tendencies by exposing it exclusively to gruesome and violent content from what they say is Reddit content page that is dedicated to document and observe the disturbing reality of death.
So basically, that robot is Blanca from the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah.
They've just been showing it violent images 24/7, and now it's a psychopath.
This is what they've had to say. We present you Norman, world's first psychopath AI. Norman is born from the fact that the data that is used to teach a machine learning algorithm can significantly influence behaviour. So when people talk about AI algorithms being biased or unfair, the culprit is often not the algorithm itself, but the biased data that was fed to it. The same method can see very different things in an image, even sick things, if trained on the wrong or right data set. Norman suffered from extended exposure to the darkest corners of Reddit and represents a case study on the dangers of AI gone wrong when biased data is used in machine learning algorithms.
Tell me they turned it off. Tell me they turned it off.
It absolutely cannot be stopped.
Fortunately, Norman's only capability is image captioning, which means the most damage he can do is produce some pretty chilling Rorschach in-block descriptions. But that didn't stop people from freaking out over the development. But that's what they're telling us it can do. It's making Rorschach images which can look like anything to anybody. That's the point of the test. You see what you want to see.
Well,
alright, so turn the fucking thing off.
Just don't talk to anyone called Norman online.
No, do talk to Norman online and tell him happy things.
Kill him.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But can you imagine?
I will put a bullet through that fucking hard drive myself.
I will come up his USB port and fucking clog it.
But can you imagine something?
Fix that science.
Something.
Well, I just get a scraper.
Ew.
Wait till it's dried and scrape it out.
Can you imagine something just focusing on all the negative aspects of humanity, though?
Oh, don't. I've read enough fucking...
Do you know what I mean? How fucking...
Well, that's what happens in my audio drama, available if you go to www.apocalypsebull.podbean.com, scroll down to the very, very bottom, episodes 1, 2, 3 and 4, on the feed, called Mechaphile. It's an audio drama. Anyway, yes, but I think this is more fucking headline baiting. It's nothing to... That headline makes you think of fucking psychopath murdering robots.
It does, obviously.
Yeah.
But obviously that's their job.
It's just a little Reddit program.
But let's not feed... It's AI, it's still AI. Let's not feed it bad things.
Yeah, I know, but they're just testing the limits, aren't they?
Yeah, but what if you can't turn it off? What if it grows? What if it exponentiates itself?
No, it's basically more of a warning to say that this is, you know...
Didn't they do that with an MSN messenger thing a few years ago where he, I don't know, maybe some kind of bot and message random
Twitter
people
bot, I think it was.
yeah, maybe a Twitter bot.
Right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Woman broke her vag. She used her vibrator 6 times a day.
Oh man, we had a broken penis the other week and I got a broken vag.
How'd you break a vag?
Nadia Bokodi is a sex expert who recently revealed that her doctor banned her from using her vibrator because it gave her pelvic pain that was so bad it left her, quote, hobbling around the office.
It's all the hobbling she was doing at home that was the problem.
Where she work? The sex expert office? I mean, what the fuck is a sex expert working in an office?
I want that job.
The strange pain left the Sydney-based 34-year-old stumped as she was confused to where it was coming from. She went to a doctor for STI tests, but the results have shown that she was clear of all STIs. Nadia was then urged to take a break from her toy. After she had gone through a divorce, she was hoping to spice things up and eventually decided to treat herself to a vibrator. She soon became obsessed with it and she was using it 6 times a day on the turbo setting.
Wow, I hope it was rechargeable. It should cost a fortune in batteries. She's a sex expert. She's using a vibrator. How can you be a sex expert and use a vibrator?
You've been sitting in the presence of one for a year now. I wish.
Well, you use a vibrator?
Yes. That's why I need this extra cushion. I'm lapsed.
She just shit tennis.
It just chops out.
Just shit ping pong bats now.
It chops out and be like a hungry hippo in reverse. Just a big mouth opening up.
Oh man!
There's an image for you guys.
Grimdark.
Thanks for the cake.
Grimdark.
Yes.
Yeah, so there we go.
Oh well.
That's her in the photos though. She's actually quite pretty.
Yeah, but she's got a broken vagina.
Yeah, also true.
I'm sure it wouldn't stop you, Gaz.
Of course not. A broken spine wouldn't stop me. If she was willing. Obviously. I shouldn't need to qualify that. You should all just know that.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Thank you.
You don't have a rapist face.
Thanks. It's a hell of a compliment. What's next?
When you scroll down, so there's an accept
Hold on a
button at the
minute.
bottom.
Yeah, it's just technical issues.
Go scroll down.
We're sorry, we are experiencing
All the way
technical
down.
I refreshed
difficulties.
it.
Please stand by. We're sorry, we are experiencing technical difficulties.
Bloody cookie exception, all this shit. I didn't.
Oh
It's
yeah,
live.
it's every fucking website you go on.
It's live, listener.
Ugh.
And raw.
Loudwire.
Yep.
Okay. Although I did see in an article earlier that Brian Johnson and I can't remember the drummer's name, he's the original drummer, they are apparently back with AC/DC.
Oh.
They've the drummer's been obviously released from investigation after hiring a hitman to kill somebody, and Brian Johnson's hearing problem has cleared up and he's fit to tour again. They have been spotted hanging out where AC/DC are recording currently, so good news. Maybe a farewell tour. I will pay whatever for that. I will literally sell a kidney if it was a farewell tour to get to that.
Would you sell a kidney while sucking off a roadie who hadn't washed for 6 months to go to see AC/DC?
On a farewell tour, last ever tour, no comeback tour, original Brian Johnson, everyone in it, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
Gay!
Fascist!
Comedy fascist. For comedy purposes.
Wouldn't you?
What? No, not really.
You're a big AC/DC fan?
Yeah, but I'm not a big dick sucking fan.
Neither am I. But
I would do it to see Iron Maiden on a farewell tour.
they're meant to be doing a Best of the Beast tour next year.
It makes me nervous that this one they're doing Legacy of the Beast sounds a bit wrapping it up and maybe not touring again.
I will also do whatever it takes to get to that.
I'd do it to see Nirvana if it was like a time travelling.
No.
Yeah, but Mike, I've got to break it to you.
Your own
sucking
time
dick.
travelling.
Mike's saying he would suck dick for something he knows is impossible.
Mate. I did add a stipend at the end if it was a time travelling car.
But that will be your own penis that's lost in the
I'd have to fillet
multiverse,
myself then.
travelling through time.
I would fillet
and
myself
ends
to
up
see
in your
Nirvana.
mouth with a Nirvana ticket stapled to it to go back in time. But
Don't
what
pretend that we'd have to entice you with Nirvana to get you to
the-
fillet yourself.
Well, there is that.
the entire time you're there, no one else can see you. You're watching the live concert and you're also filleting your own penis for the full 90 minutes that they're on stage.
Well, no, because that'd be shit.
Yeah, you're not going to enjoy
That's
it.
the price you're
I'm
paying.
watching Nirvana with a
That's,
taste of a cock in my
that's
mouth
the
and
price
all
you're
that.
paying.
I don't want to watch Nirvana with any cocks in my mouth.
Whoa, that's the price you have to pay.
And on that
I
note,
would
someone
say-
would read the story.
Well, then, Benny, this one.
2 elderly men escape nursing home and go on a metal festival. Yeah! This will be me in about 30 years' time if I'm not dead in a post-Brexit apocalypse. The Associated Press has reported that 2 men were actually not in attendance, but instead just partying at the front in the town of Wacken. Oh, it's so police. Spokesman Peter Bent confirmed this information, saying the 2 men aged 58 and 59. That's not that old.
I don't want to be in nursing home at 58. What kind of nightmare
We're
is
seen
that?
in the town.
Early,
on the-
isn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, it's quite early.
They go in nursing homes, or they ill, or
Maybe, Mum, they may have cancer.
although
something,
actually
I
it
don't
does
know.
say here that further down they describe the situation by referring to the individuals as elderly, and they come from a retirement home, and obviously like the metal festival.
58 is not elderly.
No, of course not. They obviously got the description of these guys wrong, but
I regularly get my 70-year-old
apparently they fled a
father-in-law.
nursing home to attend this, and then the nursing home was like, "Oh shit, we're missing 2 people."
58, I broke into my girlfriend's car with my 70-year-old father-in-law. I'm not married before you jump on it, but what else do I call him? You know what I mean?
No, yeah,
70, 58. That's fucking... I don't want to be in a home at 58 where I have to run away to go to a metal festival. Why do I go to a metal festival when I'm 58? I want to just be able to fucking go.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be an international news story.
You're paying these people to look after you. The least they can do is let you out for the fucking weekend.
You don't want to be paying anyone at age 58.
No, you don't. Unless, of course, they've got some condition, a disability in some way, maybe.
mental
They went to
retardation.
Judas Priest though. That's pretty fucking Mel. Who was it? Sorry, lineup included Judas Priest, Danzig, Ghost, fucking love Ghost, Hatebreed, In Flames, and many others. 190 groups performed over the course of 4 days. That's fucking awesome. I want to go to it.
Well, good on the chaps. I feel very sorry for them that they're already in a home, but good on them for breaking out and fighting the system.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good for them.
So, can we call a quick piss break while Mike finds for Alex?
Yep.
Yes.
And we are back for Never Go Full Alex.
Yes.
The biggest game show in this flat.
Yes.
The game show is now at threat.
The game show that is now at threat because the material may dry up eventually for Never Go Full Alex. Now he's been kicked off YouTube and every platform going really, isn't it?
Mike's
Apart from his
just
own
listen
website.
to his show directly on the website.
And then Mike will end up becoming a right-wing lunatic.
And hopefully
I don't know,
not
I thought I was going to go
shotgun.
full Gandhi. I could go full Gandhi.
Well, if you've been
You can go
exposed to
both.
Alex.
You cannot know light without knowing the dark.
There we
Mike.
go.
So you got to balance out all the
So
Gandhi
I'll be
shit.
stubbing me then if I just focus on
Oh,
Gandhi
yeah.
and Alex.
Now you'll become a...
How much are you exposed to Gandhi every day?
Quite a lot.
Don't expose yourself to Gandhi.
I pray to him for
That sort of
hours a day.
thing's frowned
Are
upon.
you in a hilarious sitcom like The Odd Couple where it's you and Gandhi living together?
That's an awesome comedy. Easily made.
Did you ever see that
He'd
sitcom
never-
about
thing is,
Hitler like that?
He'd never eat your food,
No,
would he,
I've never
Gandhi?
seen it.
I
It
think
was-
I did.
Somebody made
It was
a
a
pilot.
pilot, wasn't it? I
Yeah.
did see it,
What,
yeah.
someone living
Home
with
with
Hitler?
the Hitlers, yeah. He
Yeah.
was like a sitcom star, and he was
man.
Hitler, I'm home.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
See it.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It's amazing.
Oh, it's Mike and Gandhi living in an apartment and...
Yeah. And Gandhi walks in and finds Mike doing something unspeakable to his flip flop.
By the plus side, Gandhi would
This
never...
is Gandhi's flip flop.
On the plus side, Gandhi would never eat your food. Gandhi, where's your biscuits gone? I don't know, mate.
Fat Gandhi.
Fat Gandhi. Fat
I'm
drunk.
still fasting, I swear.
He's fat drunk Gandhi.
He's turned his... He's like been resurrected in like the 21st century now. We are,
I
aren't we?
don't know.
Yeah, we are, Mike. Yeah, 21st century. Yeah.
And he's suddenly got a love for capitalism. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So he's like going to
He
McDonald's and stuff.
He loves bling and McDonald's
You
and
can't eat
BMWs.
McDonald's, Gandhi. You're a vegan, Lord. Best beef in the world, mate.
Fuck the sacred cow.
Oh,
This
man.
is the sacred cow.
Oh, apologies for the Indian listeners.
Hey, the Bernard Manningham podcast, baby. We're back. Back on form.
I was going for the.
So I was around my mother-in-law, right? And she says to me, right? Anyway, sorry.
You know, speaking on a very similar level to Bernard Manning, Jim Davidson, do you remember him? Big break and the Generation Game fame.
Remember.
Also
Famous racist.
noted racist comic. It wasn't racist, it was on mainstream TV. Don't know what happened to him. He did this show down in Cornwall. It had been completely unsold. Basically,
Right.
didn't promote that he was going there. He performed to virtually nobody. He had to get changed in the car park. He tweeted the entire thing like, "I'm going to change the car park. That's been promoted properly. There's no one here." Was it promoted properly, or just do people think you're a cunt?
No one gives a fuck about you.
Yeah. You know,
Well,
they want a generation game, Jim. Not how you hate Muslims.
we don't want your politics, Jim.
No, we just want.
We want your bawdy humour.
Yeah,
Your pantos for adults. Remember
yeah.
them?
Big Panto star, wasn't he? Yeah.
But they were for
Twat.
adults. Yeah, fuck him. Right,
Yeah,
let's
so
play full
Let's
Alex.
play full Alex.
Do you want to explain the rules?
The rules are that
Or the format?
Mike plays us a clip of some random weirdo he's found on the net, and then he plays us a clip of Saint Alex, who's gonna go weirder. And the show saying is you never go full Alex. So to go okay to go a little bit Alex, maybe half Alex, never full Alex.
Never cross the streams and never go full Alex.
Exactly.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
Okay, so we got 3 in total. The first one is Rich Vera says, moving the embassy to Jerusalem will release the cure for Alzheimer's.
I bet he has Alzheimer's and he's wishing for anything he can get.
You talked about there's going to be a fresh wind, very briefly, starting at the White House. What did God show you?
You know, once again, what the prophets prophesied, God is going to clean from the highest house in the nation to the lowest house in the nation. There's going to be a wind of change, a wind of cleansing, and there's going to be a wind of fire, because the Holy Spirit's fire is going to be released in the White House, that there will be signs and wonders that will take place inside the White House. And I saw the prophets going inside the White House and prophesying the word of the Lord, prophesying what God is saying, not what they want to hear. And I saw, because of that, prosperity hitting, and literally a divine mantle of protection being released over the president and over America, where the enemies of America were going to be literally pushed back in this season because of the prayer of the saints and the prophetic that's going to go right into the White House.
Tell me about, you told me that there was going to be a cure for breast cancer, and I just read an article that someone's just developed one.
Yeah, about 6 months ago, the Lord gave me a vision, and the Lord says, I'm going to judge the killer of the babies. And I didn't understand that, and I saw a woman feeding their child, and it symbolizes the production of life. And the Lord says, I'm about to open the eyes of those, and you know, that God says, I'm about to open the eyes so life can once again be spoken loud through the bodies of women. And I saw something that was going to come out of a secondary result that was going to be like a discovery of something that will push back breast cancer on ladies. And as we saw today, 2 days ago, came an article saying exactly what we're saying, and you saw that on the back.
Well, what about things like feebleness and Alzheimer's and...
Well, a couple years ago, when I was here, I prophesied that, and you sent me some articles, and you know, and this is the most amazing thing. You know, what happened in Israel with President Trump proclaiming Jerusalem to be the eternal capital of the Jewish people, as Chuck says, is a significant thing in the spirit world, because for him to be the man that spoke boldly to the nations of the world, he released a spirit that opened a portal for blessings to be released from Israel to the rest of the world. If you look on Psalms 122, says, if you pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Now, the word to pray means more than just pray. It means if you do something about it. The Bible says there will be great prosperity among those that love Israel. So when the president went, and I saw this in a vision, and proclaimed that on television, there was literally a portal that opened up, and it began to flush like a waterfall to America, and we are about to experience prosperity like we have never experienced before, because the Bible says when Jerusalem gets blessed, or when something happens concerning the peace of Jerusalem, prosperity is the result that follows Jerusalem.
Fantastic. Well, everything's alright then, isn't it? Everything's gonna be fine. It's okay. Oh, amazing.
Well, let's hear Alex and...
No, we've got I think we've had that album before, Mike.
Yeah, no. Another one.
Oh, what? It's a three-way.
One night. Okay, I can put up with another cunt for fucking 1 minute 19.
Rick Wiles says the blood of aborted fetuses are in the water supply.
Oh. If we're going to do 3 ways, I'm going to have to start writing things down, man.
Yeah.
So the first guy... Okay, I remember the first guy.
Yep.
Now let's have the second guy.
Okay.
Judgment's coming. And don't think because Donald Trump's in the White House that's going to save us. That's not going to save us. We're still murdering over 4,000 babies a day. Still killing them every day. Let me ask you, America, when they slaughter a little baby in a Planned Parenthood baby butcher shop, where does that baby's blood go? Where does the baby's brains and guts go? Tell me where it goes. I'll tell you where it goes. It goes down the drain into the sewer system. And the blood of those babies is running through your town's sewer, under your street. The sewage pipes in your city carrying the blood, the guts, the brains, the tissue of all the babies murdered in your city today, going right into your city sewer system, you're actually drinking.
Ugh.
You're drinking the baby's blood, being recycled and going right back into the city water supply. Cannibalism.
You know what? Fuck him. I'll shoot him in the face myself when the revolution comes. Fuck him.
What a
fuck whatever the
cunt.
fuck he's saying.
What a thunder cunt.
I will gladly stove his head in with a hammer.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck him. Fuck the first guy.
I mean, we're not drinking it 'cause it's filtered out, you prick. That's why we're not drinking shit.
Well, no. They just incinerate that shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
It's on about a forced abortion, miscarriage.
Yeah, but
Just go
yeah,
into the
Ben's
toilet
saying
bowl.
that
Just
they'll
go to
put it in
the
a
toilet
bios bag and fucking
No, you
incinerate
just
it
go down
in a backstreet.
Yeah, in a
That's
very...
how women lose kids. It just comes out in their blood, doesn't it, when they have a period?
Oh, in a
Oh,
very
I see.
early state, very early
Yeah.
miscarriage.
Mhm.
Oh, still, you know what? Fuck him. Fuck his beliefs. If I met him in the street, I'd bite his nose off.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
You're supposed to have children by 16 in every culture.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, all right. Now we've got a treat.
We shot ahead a little bit there. No tease. Here's Saint Alex.
Alex Jones says he had over 150 women by the time he turned 16. In your head, Alex,
Wow.
you did. Okay, that's...
You're supposed to have children by 16 in every culture biologically. If you're not having them by 16, there's something wrong with you. Oh, but see, there's college, the priesthood you got to get into. And then by then, oh, you got to make money because you're in debt. Oh, don't have time for kids. It's all, they wrote books about the 20s, how they do this. Don't have time for kids. You're trying to get out of debt. Oh, you're 40. You're finally halfway out of debt. Oh, you want to have some fun now. Oh, you try to find a woman. Oh, she's barren. She's doing the same thing. By the time you figure out you want to live, by the time you hit 16 at 40, I'm giving you the big knowledge here, folks. At 40, on average, and they did this by design, you are now the equivalent of a 16-year-old. When I was 16, I didn't want to party anymore. I didn't want to play games anymore. I grew up. I'd already been in the fights, all the big rituals. I'd already had probably, I hate to brag, so I'm not bragging, it's actually shameful, probably 150 women or more. That's conservative. I had over 150 women. I'd already been in fights with full-grown men. I was already dating college girls by the time I was 15 years old. I was already a man at 16.
I wanted to say that he... I was hoping you were going to say that he fought a bear. I don't know why. I've been in fights with full-grown men. I had 150 women. I once gouged a bear's eyes out. I just hope he was in that. You know
it's
what?
just Alex's fantasies coming out of his mouth, isn't it? And he thinks people are buying it.
The other two guys are cunts. Alex is the man of this week. That's what I'm going for.
I don't know, the first guy was
really?
talking about there being a shield of spiritual protection placed over the White House because of Jerusalem.
That's
some of
just
the
random.
Shit.
That's
and
just...
I like the way he said precedent and breast. Yes.
And he predicted the cure for breast cancer.
And
So I'm pretty
Alzheimer's.
sure hasn't been cured.
Yep.
And Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I think he's the most batshit crazy. The second one's just an offensive, silly, misguided, probably not very factually accurate cunt. And Alex is just fucking, that's Alex's fantasies writ large. Do you know what I mean, isn't it? I had fights with fully grown men. He obviously got the shit kicked out of him a lot.
Didn't say he'd win. Didn't say he'd won, did he?
Yeah, I had fights with fully grown men.
And by the way, now I'm 40. I'm 16 again. I'm a virile man again. I think he's got some impotent
When
issues.
16, he had enough. So
He did all the
made
rituals.
16. Oh, wicked party.
I was a man.
Oh, I'm a man now. I'm done with that.
I was a man.
I've shaved 150 women.
I had fully grown men and bears.
Hey Alex, do you want
That's
to come round?
conservative.
We're 16. Do you want to come round and play some Nintendo and maybe eat some cookie or Atari? He's quite old, isn't he?
Yeah.
Play some Atari. No, goddammit, I'm doing royals of cocaine. I fucked 3 strippers and I got my dick in somebody's ass right now. So that's how fuck you bad. Woo, I'm a man.
I'm gonna go kill a man.
I'm fucking a woman and punching a fully grown man right in the face with my other hand.
I think that's called rape, isn't it? Home invasion.
I fucked a woman, fought a man.
That's called home invasion, isn't it?
I fucked a man, I fought a woman. No, wait. I did not. She was a lesbian. Anyway, yeah.
You're the first guy.
First guy's the most batshit crazy.
No, the first guy is just, he's little more than a crisis actor. He's just saying that shit for money and attention. The second guy is legit just a cunt. Alex is in his full-blown little fantasy world for me, so he wins it.
Oh, the decider comes to me then.
Who's gone? Remember the rules of the show?
Yeah.
Who's the most crazy?
I would actually put Alex in third place, I think, this week.
Wow.
Yeah. He's just exaggerating, isn't he?
Second would go the blood, drinking the blood of the fetuses. I think Gaz is right. I think he wins it, the first guy. I think he's more insane. He's got these fucking delusions of grandeur that he's having these prophetic fucking hallucinations or whatever about him talking to God and thinking that he's cured breast cancer.
Yeah, he hasn't done that. Yeah, I'm with you. So yeah, I think that wraps it up, doesn't it?
First guy wins them.
Yeah.
What's his name? Can we just click back to the screen?
Kevin Herco, I think I've closed it now.
Yeah. Well, either way. Yeah, alright, well, I accept the decision. I don't necessarily agree, but I accept it.
That's democracy.
That's democracy.
Right, let's
wrap it doesn't work, as we've proved several times. Brexit. So let's wrap it up. I've been Ben. I'm going to say, don't drink the Flavour Aid, don't join a cult.
I'll say good night, and I've been Gaz, and thanks for the cake, Paz.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And free Biff Tannen.
I'll say I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
And now we're going to have our cake and eat it.
Yeah.